You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Hello, welcome to the RedPill Dispensary. This is supposed to be ready and it's not.
This year, our everyday purchases created adventures right here at home, like Couch Cove. Use your American Airlines MasterCard and get miles closer.
What it is. The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind.
So relevant. I don't think of it in a different way. Even biblical.
Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself.
It's almost like choosing to,
This is your last chance.
ask for forgiveness.
After this, there is no turning back.
God.
You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
And that's what I'm here for. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. And I'm not joking. Guys, I have so much information for you.
Remember,
today.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
You tell me one thing I've been wrong in. Anyone could tell me. If I've been wrong, there's one video wrong. It was like one of my first videos. I thought I fell for something where I thought someone got arrested. But, like, that's funny. One of my first videos sticks out to me. That's the only time I was wrong on something. I thought someone got arrested. I think that's the only time I've been wrong. Cause I don't just like throw out crap. You know what?
Whoa, do not skip this ad. Because did you know?
Yeah, okay. Alright, good. Even Elon says it. Good morning, brother. Dana's son. I see you, bro. Good morning. Now, it's unbelievable. I have so much information. It's like, first of all, I think that they're going to be taking, I can see, there's certain signs before the channel comes down. Richie from Boston was seeing the signs for like 2 weeks before they took him down. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. And I'm heavily censored, and it's really like sometimes it's demoralizing. So you can go to my videos, and you can when you instead of searching, if you want to see like an old video, it's kind of funny. But back when at the time I had just started watching my Fugle, I liked them, and then about 2 weeks went by. I called in twice. Um, Actually, no, I called in a third time, and Dex tried to tell me I was wrong about something. Of course, no, he was wrong, idiot. Because I was talking about Disney and Epstein and all this stuff. And this is like early on, and I was talking about how Disney owns with a thing where they go scuba diving right off of the island, his island. And he goes, no, they don't, because they don't own it, they don't do that. Turns out they do, idiot. Um, and I told him, too, don't you ever, I ain't got to say it on the phone, but I let him know in a different way. I know you got my message. Don't you ever try to correct me, unless you're right. That ain't gonna be easy to do. I'm not claiming I know all, but I don't speak on it unless I know it. And today, I'm gonna talk about stuff. Not just stuff that's happened. I'm gonna talk about stuff that you haven't heard before. And stuff that is going to happen. I don't know too many that do that. I'm going to let you guys know the future. Well, I can't read the future, but when you have great sources, when you have great men like Paul Revere, a rider at midnight, you learn things. And over time, you learn how to do that research yourself. And it's pretty interesting what you find. I had a good teacher. His name was Paul Revere. And I might sound ridiculous to some people. If you don't get the reference, I'm sorry. But I can't say that letter if you pick up what I'm putting down. And that's the reason for a lot of that. And Uncle Al. I'm telling you, Uncle Al is there and waiting, and they are taking people down, and they're taking me down. I mean, all of my content is so unfiltered. The only time I filter myself is I try not to swear too much, even though I have been known to swear. And really, the only thing is that one letter. I mean, it's stupid. You're an idiot if you're saying that letter. And I love this channel, Monograph. And he does it himself, like a roll up your sleever. Well, I don't know. If you roll up your sleeve, what's there? Oh, that's your arm. You get it. Second Amendment, referring to one of those. So, he does it too. But I love a quote that he says at the end of his videos. If you cannot speak freely, you are how's he say it? Just simply, you are not free. And it's true. Simply, if you cannot speak freely, you are not free. Now, some people take this, like, avoiding Uncle Al to a whole nother level. And a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm not too happy with that whole group. I'm going to be honest. I'm on every platform, but I noticed that there's nobody on those platforms. The only one that's worth its salt is DLive. I was on DLive. I became really cool with a girl she lives in Hollywood, used to have her own TV show. Very pretty girl. But she was cool, right? I watched her because you have to watch people to get, you know what I mean? Like it's very weird. And I got some like I got a lot of viewers from her show because I would donate, right? And so of course he's on there. All of a sudden I see him on this girl's channel. And I'm like, oh, here we go. He's gonna see me. Of course, I make one video. Now, D Live is supposed to be the Wild Wild West, right? And I'll even show you guys the email. I should have had it all prepared, but I'm not going through all my emails live. But I'd be happy to show it. Anything I say, I can back up. After one video, and the video is not even bad. It's on YouTube. It's on every other platform. No other platform banned me. Facebook banned me before I even made a video. I mean, I think I would like just made a comment and I was gone. See you later. Facebook, there's no way I could stay on Facebook. So anyways, but DLS was Wild Wild West. Out of all the platforms, they banned me after one video. You know why? What do you think these clowns do? A cult. If you have a cult and they have an enemy, they're like a swarm of bees and they attack. And they don't call themselves a cult, they call themselves a family. So did Manson. Manson called his group a family too, just so you guys know. All right? And the the thing that really bothers me, I used to be on a like because I was pissed that I was manipulated. I kind of knew he was bullshit, but I enjoyed the calls and things like that. And then he really got heavy into like, I don't know, man. Like, I like structure is good, but too much structure and too much advertising and too much about the money, you know, I don't ask about donations. I have my mod to do it, and thank you for them for putting it out there because I wouldn't even think of it. You know, it'll be in the description, but I always put the PayPal link. But I don't talk about donations because that's not on my top 10 list. You know, when it happens, it's nice. And you know what I do? I feel so like weird getting like a nice donation. If it's for the channel, because I give an option, you can donate to the channel, or you could just do like a personal donation, and that's just okay. Thank you, and that's like to my helps out with the family and the bills. But if you want to donate to the channel, that's what most people want to do. And you know, like the last one was like about 3 months ago, and it was for like the background, the setup, and I got the best one you can buy. It has all I mean, the thing that makes it so good is if I wanted to, I could have a picture studio. You know, like, remember being a kid and you get like picture day? Because I have a green screen, a white screen, a black screen. I bought a projector with my own money. That has nothing to do with a donation, just so I could use the black screen. And, you know, I don't even... I don't use it that much. I'm using it more, and I've been debating what to do with this video, and what I think I'm gonna do is I want to play Trump's reaction to the debate. I loved it, and also how he felt was a lot like. Now you guys might have not seen it. Okay, so I made the video yesterday morning. But we're talking like 6 in the morning, right? 6 in the morning. I'm usually up by 5. I used to not be like that. I'm an early riser. So up at 5, and I don't require much sleep. 4 hours, I'm good. Up at 5, and I made the video at 6. I might even made the video like 5:30. Made the first video. That's the video, not the last video. And then I made another video in the like afternoon, around noon, and it went into the afternoon to about 3 o'clock. I hate doing that because the second video gets watched and the other video doesn't. Now, that's fine, except that morning video had so much information. That's the one with the Hillary Clinton news that broke. I broke that. Like that was huge. Not only that, I predicted it for 3 years. I mean, all kinds of information was talked about on that particular show. And then it was really interesting to see Comey squirm like a weasel. And we talked a little bit before that. And for this video, I want you guys to see Trump. But I just want to let you know ahead of time. I am going to be talking about some crazy intel in my next video. And I'm going to give an exact time for the video. It's going to be... I'm trying to think of the best time. Because, I always think of the West Coast people, too. I'm kind of busy. Okay. It's going to be at 10:30 Eastern. All right, but give me a break. How about 10:30, between 10 and 11? Okay? But I'm going to really try to do it on 10:30 on the dot. Now, I've said this before and then not came through. I said like, okay, video tonight. I've done that a bunch of times, I've noticed. Obviously, if you do that. It's a bad habit that's happened so many times where, you say it, but, then you're with your family. And it's just like, like, damn, man, I gotta spend time with my family. But I'm doing it no matter what tonight. That's happening. No matter what. So, because I'll have my daughter down by then. Yeah, so 10:30 is the aim, between 10 and 11. Okay, now with that said, I was talking about that other channel, right? So these punks, they have this one particular punk. Now, I don't want to even talk bad, but he just like he has some real bad health problems. And I've even reached out to him and said, hey man, like I prayed for him too. And I've actually prayed for him since. But that's my own thing. It's okay, but I can't help it. He's gone after my family way too much. And what makes it worse is he made up a bunch of lies. But then I made a video and he didn't know I had it. He didn't know I had everything. I have way more than people realize. Same thing on his little, his master. What do we call him? Oh, we used to call him something. Oh, his day leader. Yeah, I got some fun stuff on him too. So, whatever. And his sidekick. All of them. So, I'm saying don't with my channel. All right? Don't. Because it's, there's going to be blood in the water. All right? And what I mean by that is I am going to talk about issues that I believe you are doing a disservice to people on your channel. It is basically a review of your channel. Okay? You like how I did that? Because that's how you do it. That's how you gotta say it. Because that's the truth. It's like a review. Okay? And yeah, I might have some additional things I might offer, some information. You know what I mean? So that's just all I'm gonna say about that for now. I'll leave that right there and see what happens because you know what? I feel like the signs of the channel coming down are happening. I never got copyright strikes, and I still haven't actually gotten like a real strike. You can get a strike where it's like I don't know. Maybe I don't know how it works. Maybe I just always heard people say it and I thought you actually get a strike. But I'll get a copyright strike letter. They say, okay, there's copyright strike, but the use is okay with you using it as long as they put ads on it and get revenue. So if you ever see an ad on my video, but then they didn't put any ads on it. So I was like, what is going on? They did that to two videos in a row. The first Intel dump and the second one. Two very important videos. And then the last two videos I did yesterday, 5:30 in the morning, and they didn't load until because I noticed at 4 in the morning they loaded after I had already written something on the community post. That's pretty interesting if you want to read it. It's pretty harsh. Um, I was angry. Because I know what's going on. I know the signs. I know what's normal. I know when it's not normal. I also know that I have protection. Okay? Because while I'm talking about the real issues, other people are talking about. I mean, I had like a brief mention of the comment just to let you guys know. Hey, I don't think it's gonna hit, but all that matters is there's this number. Whenever there's a comment, there's this number, and that's all I look at is that number. Because usually it's like one, two, three. That means they know where it is, they know where it's going to be on that day, and they can even measure how far it'll be from us. If it's a 10, they have no friggin' idea. They saw it and now they can't see it because the sun usually, and they don't know. When they originally saw it, they can kind of make out a path and they know it's going to be a close Earth one. It's going to be, our orbit. We're going to just happen to our orbit. They're going to cross and it's going to be close. This one is one of those ones that it's going to be close. At least it's not a 10 or a 9, but it's a 7. So it's a high degree of uncertainty. I know that they're not, because I watch these channels, they have these instruments. They haven't seen it since they saw it last time. At least this is as of like 2 days ago. I don't think they've still seen it. They don't expect to see it until something happens. Also, because I'll talk. I don't even have to talk about them. I mean, I'd like to say a few things, but yeah. Also, I just want to say that now I know if someone came here to watch the Trump video, we're gonna watch it. Don't worry. All right. I don't do this that often. I'm doing it. All right. So also, oh, this is actually information that you should know. Uh, you can tell whoever your spouse is or whoever you live with or you see somebody. Today is, they call it 1 October, October 1st, right? And supposedly it is what is it called? It's the 100, and I don't want to get it wrong now. Ah, man. You know what? I can't be searching too much on this phone like this. It's too risky, you know, too much information, too many people that are too good at stuff. And I know exactly what they want. I gotta be very careful with that. God, no, man, way too much. Alright. Ah, man. This is gonna be impossible. Okay. Let me show you guys something. Look at that. I'm not gonna say anything, just read it. Red October. This is something that's been spoken about for 3 years. It's obviously happening. So, you know, all this stuff, the pandemic, all these things, it seems like it was supposed to happen earlier, but it's happening now. But then again, I don't know. It's all lining up with what they said 3 years ago. That's when they started saying certain terms. And you know exactly what those terms are when you see, you know, when they happen. Godfather 3 and Red October and, you know, what is another one? There's so many. There's so many different, like, terms that you get to know. Have faith in humanity. I think that's just something to, they know people are freaking out. They don't want to cause a freak out. It's going to cause somewhat of a freak out. But that's what people like us are here for. You know, that's why I'm here. Is to give you guys the information. Let you know the Patriots are in control. I've known this for a long time. That's why I can tell you what's going to happen before it happens. Because there's a plan. And it's not like I know the whole playbook. But I get drops, I get breadcrumbs. And, you know, sometimes you just know because of the breadcrumbs. Other times, that breadcrumb leads you to research certain people and certain things, and you start to learn, and then you start to hear some references. And I'm going to tell you one thing. The president is such an intelligent man. He'll stand up there and give an amazing speech and at the same time give about 15 secret references. And I know that sounds a little bit crazy, but he does it all the time. Trust me. Now, he's supposed to stay isolated from all of this. So that you heard when the reporters finally asked the question, he said, I heard about them. Hey, you know, if they support me, then all right, you know. Then he got asked another question, that they were taking down child sex ring. And he said, well, wouldn't that be a good thing? He goes, you know, if there really was some secret, you know, wouldn't that be a good thing if we were taking, like, why are you making that, like, sound, like, controversial? You know what I mean? Wouldn't you want us to do that? So he handled the question very well. Hasn't been asked since. I think they realize it's over. General Flynn. I kept telling you guys that's why that judge kept on delaying it. But it's funny. It's just right in time for Red October. It's weird. And then the dominoes start falling. And they're falling quick. And I think I know what's going to be next. So that's going to be all in this next video. I'm sorry to tease it like that. But, you know, and this stuff, like, for instance, like, Paul Revere has stuff. But I actually did some of my own little research. I got some of my own stuff that's unique and you're not going to find anywhere else. So it's going to be a very, very, very important video. And you know what's sad? As many people are gonna watch that video as they watched. Here, I'll show you. I'll show you guys. Look at this. This is what is really disheartening. And the thing is, I know that they censor me. If you're subscribed to me and you have the bell, you'll get notifications. Sometimes you won't, but you'll usually get them. But nobody else sees it. You know what I mean? Like, no strangers come. Unless I'm talking about something that's like has nothing to do with anything. You know what I mean? Like if whenever like for instance when I talked about UFC, the fights, then other people come. Nobody is looking at, you know what I mean? Nobody's like catching these videos. Four people freaking and I'm literally talking about the biggest scandal in American history. And, you know, I mean, right now I'm not. But I have in every video on point. You know what I mean? And it happens after I say it's. I just find it crazy. And look at the views. 80, well, these are the two, the last two. You know, you see that same picture there and the one above it. Those two were the ones that they held them. They didn't put them out till 1 in the morning last night. So you guys, if you didn't see it, you might want to watch that. Really good videos. Starting with huge D class, what I felt about debate, and it goes on. But that's one you wanna watch, and both of them are good videos. I'm trying to keep the video shorter. The video before that, if you didn't see Intel Dump 2 and Intel Dump with the first one, I mean, they're big time videos. When I played Devil's Advocate with Trump, that was a pretty cool video. Smoke Screen was a good video. These are all important videos to watch. But, you know, I realize people got lives. Some people are still leaving their house for work. Most people are staying home for work. A lot of people aren't working. They're still getting I noticed, like, you know, and the views, you would think they'd be higher. We're in a pandemic, everyone's inside. I'm being censored so bad. A lot of people know my channel, a lot of people. But the thing is, I'm not scared to fight with a Titan channel with 3 channels that all have like 200,000 subscribers. Yet, you watch the show. It's like 5 callers. 3 of them are just drunk people talking about crazy shit. But nothing's crazy to him. Call it how you see it. Say that. Listen, man. Call back when you're sober. You know, like that's the type of, or you know, I'm looking in the sky and this and that. Just the information is crap. There's nothing. It's the information they want you to have. And you know what? Sometimes they might even throw them a little bone. And I say they because yeah. If you can put it together, yeah. Why is Richie gone and others aren't? Is it because he's so careful with his words? Is that what it is? No, of course not. Come on. Look at all his advertisements. Follow EMP Shield. Go straight to the government. But okay, that's okay, right? Okay. He's basically working for the government in that way. But you know what? No big deal. And buy one. You can even get one for your car. Put it on your car. See what happens when the EMP hits. All I know is that the biggest and baddest mofo with the biggest and baddest roll up your sleeve is going to be driving your car. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to put yourself at risk because he might have to off you and your family might be with you. That's how I picture that going down. I don't know about you guys. I'm just saying. If no cars work and yours does, I don't want to be that guy. I mean, you're gonna kind of stick out. And people will, when it comes down to survival, I've heard horrible stories about like imprisonment camps. What people will do, it's stuff that I won't talk about because I don't want to like disturb your mind. It's bad. And I'll be honest, I've been approached. When I say approached, I mean emailed and also called. I thought it was fake. I was offered stuff. First, I was offered stuff for cryptocurrency. I said no. I'm all set. I don't want to do that ad shit. I don't want to do that. No. Then I was offered a different type of thing. You know? I think you guys understand what I'm talking about. Oh man, I hope nothing happens to me. But you know what? I just said it. And if you guys, oh man, who would ever let you know? I don't know. Hopefully someone would let you know. Like something happened to Matt, you know what I mean? And you guys would know why. Because I just said that. I've been approached in that way. Called called on my like personal phone. I don't give that number. So what the hell is it, you know? That freaked me out because I don't nobody has that number. This phone, I get like I'll use this phone for like certain things when I have to like give my phone number. Because when you always have to give your phone number and you don't want to because they're going to use it it's going to end up and people are going to be calling you about both, I'll give this number. But my personal phone, um, by the way, I keep it in something. I actually got it from the Alex Jones site. It's pretty cool. It's like this black pouch. It's basically you can just honestly, you could just put your phone in the microwave if you're worried about being tracked. But mine, you can carry it around with you. It's a black pouch, and you just slip it right in, and you're good. You can walk around and no problem. So, anyways, what I was talking about was you can do look at it. So here's my newest, all right? Literally like crazy intelligence in this stuff, right? There's all kinds of information. Um, all kinds of information. Unbelievable. I'm trying to see like some of those shows that like the tetrasilver tetroxide. All right, guys, we're talking about cures for basically everything. The technology they have, I'm telling you, they keep big pharma alive. They don't want cures. They did cure Hep C. Thank God something came out for that. A lot of people were getting sick from Hep C because I don't know, we were in Afghanistan and then all of a sudden a heroin epidemic happens. That's been the worst thing to happen to our country. Well, it depends where you are. It's like when they do their rounds to the New Hampshire, Iowa, South Carolina. It's always the same states. I don't know. Whatever. That's how they do it. They should change that, just like they should change the debate form. I was talking about that in the video with the red face, the Trump's face, and it's all red. I'm telling you, if you haven't seen it, that tetrasilver tetroxide proven cure, friggin' amazing. Biggest show I may have done to date. Amazing shows. Amazing shows. I got more views back then. Then they started censoring me worse. It still wasn't high views. It's still not that high. Oh man, there's a lot of good videos. I'm looking at it. A lot of these are very pandemic with proof. Look how far back I knew about I knew about what's it called? You know, the virus, and I was wicked accurate. You don't believe me? All right, so look, I'm talking about the white horse. That's a CV-19. Yeah, 6 months ago. We're talking December and January. I knew about this. I mean, they talk about like February. Like he found out in February. It was so early. Man, they knew. How did I know? Even that clown knew he was talking about it too. People were just dropping dead on the street. Although I think that there was a lot of fake stuff too. Sensory overload. I remember that being good. While hiding, while they're riding Biden. That's a good one. But anyways, just oh, that's good. The WHO finally declares CV-19. Yeah, because see, I was saying shut down the borders, and they wouldn't. Not that anyone gonna listen to me, but I was just saying it. You know, like I can't believe they haven't recommended that people shut down all borders. I remember saying that, and wow, it's funny to look through. I never do this. Um. So it begins. 1,000 National Guard deployed to 3 states. And then it was like crazy. Like Richie from Boston got the footage. They like every quarry has a bunch of National Guards. If you have a quarry in your area, just check it out this weekend. Just, you know, check it out. You might be really surprised. It might be full of military vehicles. It's very interesting. See, here's a video I was wrong, but it's kind of like clickbait title right there. I end up saying I don't think he has it because there was a rumor at the time amongst a few people. Look at this. I'm talking about it 7 months ago. Where is shots fired at Mar-a-Lago? No one talks about that. That wasn't reported in the news. Future proved past. Impeachment and peace. Yeah, these are amazing videos. These are like high quality videos, those ones. Jamaica got hit with the earthquake. Media, ready or not, here I come. And that's with Kobe. And then this one. This one, you gotta see. Everything you need to know on, and you can read that, right? All right, this one right here, and it's under Kobe. It's the world map. I highly suggest that. Before that, pandemic, question mark. So you see how long I've been talking about this. So Virginia state of emergency. Trying to see like when I made my first. This is, see, right before that, Iran. And then we were waiting for their response. Remember that? Deep dive into General Soleimani kill. That was really interesting. But what nobody was talking about was our embassy in Kenya being attacked and 3 Americans were killed there. Nobody talked about that. See, at this time, there was a lot of, this is July, fireworks over Boston. This is July. Yeah, so, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. So, you know, I mean, look at this. 8 months ago, everything you need to know. Everything. That's bold, right? Except when you watch the video. Now, the information's changed so much. Yet, in the end, how basically what the facts are is what I say in this video. I got lucky. I don't know. I watched it like a month ago. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I even got like the R naught number. That's like how it spreads. I I made my own little prediction. I think I said like well, it's gonna fluctuate, so it's kind of hard to say exactly what the R naught number. But at the peak, you know how what was it? I got it almost exactly right. It's amazing. There's a lot of things on that video. That's a really good video. There's a lot of good videos in here. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Hello, and Anyways, I only did it because earlier I hit this button to oldest, and it's like my first video, because the reason I got on YouTube was to really say thank you to Richie from Boston. And look, I didn't know what I was doing. My video is upside down. My first video. Me and Richie. I'll play it. This is my first video.
Got to say.
It has a lot of views.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. I am in Framingham, Massachusetts. It's like 50 miles from my house. And it turns out that I'm with the Red Pill. This is the guy that won the 5-ounce silver coin.
I still got it. I've shown it.
It wasn't just him. Somebody else claimed they were him.
Oh, so he's gonna right here. He's gonna say that the other guy is an asshole and stuff like that. And it really did seem like that, but no. There was actually 2 people named Red Pill, which makes sense. Richie's audience is so huge. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, he still has. If you don't know, he still has RFB too. I haven't seen his video lately, but he still has that. And I'm telling you guys, what you see is what you get. A lot of people thought he might be connected with certain things or, different. And no, what you see is what you get. He's legit. He really is. And I was just surprised by that. I don't know why. He seems genuine. He doesn't go too deep into stuff. I love when he gets together with Nicholson 1978, but because then they do deep dives. But when he's just driving his car, giving his opinion, he calls himself an idiot, but he's actually very intelligent in his own way. He knows he's very good at just simplifying, just boiling it down to the main point. Get down to the point. And he hits it hard. And he has a way, his voice, his demeanor, he has a way of driving it home. He does. I enjoy him. And meeting him, I got to know that it's not just an act. I talked to him off camera for a little bit. He's a good dude. Trust me.
Of course, they try to do something nice, and someone tries to be a weasel. Yeah. And me and him almost got in an argument.
Oh, so the guy wasn't a weasel. I just want to say that because Richie, he goes, "Oh, I seen it. You can bring your son down," or something about saying a son, because the other Red Pill had a video of his. When you click on his, he has something with you can tell it's like a home video with a boy. And I'm like, son, I have a daughter, and she's, way younger than what he was saying. And so I was like, why did he ask me that? Turns out that guy has a son. And so he was looking at that Red Pill. So there were 2 Red Pills, basically. Anyways, we got lucky. One person didn't claim their prize. So he was able to still give the other guy 5 ounces in 1 ounce coins. He hasn't done it. He did it again about a month ago. It's just pretty cool, I still got it. It's cool. I'm gonna hold on to that thing forever, until shit hits the fan, and silver and gold will that'll be the wealth.
Proved who he was, and then I figured it out. Dude, you're in Framingham. I can come right to you, so I did. He went out of his way. Well, in any way, yeah, I guess so. You messaged me. I waited until after rush hour. You know what I mean? But still, But the good thing is when I met him, it turns out that he's got credentials. He used to be in the Navy, and he was a cryptologist, which is something very interesting. Yeah. You want to say a little bit about that?
Well, there are a lot of different types of cryptologists. There's cryptologists who do linguistics, like language. There's cryptologists who are more into the techie part of it. I was a collection.
CT. It's a CTR.
Gathered any intel?
The accent. CTR. And anyone in the Navy knows what that is. So, top secret SCI clearance. And with a polygraph.
Damn.
Brings it up a step.
That's no joke.
So, well, the reason is because they don't know. What I do is, what I did, this is from 2001 to 2004. What I would do is, you go out, and we have certain equipment. I'm not going to give any intel.
Right, that's cool, man.
But we listen to enemies, and we listen to what they're doing. And you never know what's going to come across.
Right.
That's why I need that clearance.
Right. No, it makes sense, man.
But I just want to say one thing. After the Patriot Act passed, my job description changed.
What do you mean?
Literally like 2 days after, I was listening to a Marine cry about his girl sending him a Dear John letter. Listening to our own people.
So after the Patriot Act that was already written up well before 9/11, but trotted out on 9/11.
And that, by the way, I'm not giving out
13.
any, classified information by saying that. I was very careful. I'm very careful with what I say. And I don't really talk much about exact details like that. Because you could just look the Patriot Act up and look at what is in it. Look it up, and it'll have that. Stuff that's public information. That's not giving out intel. I would never do that. I just would never do that. I would never do that to my country. I would never do that against my oath. I would never do that. Navy's all about honor. That's number one. Courage, commitment. And I kind of treat this channel like that. I mean, the reason I'm showing you the old videos is the views I'm getting now is the same exact number as my first. Well, this video doesn't count because it's got Richie in it, so it got a lot of views. But I'll show you my first video. It's the same views I've gotten for my last few videos, and they're filled with information. Now, I wasn't being censored in the beginning. Now I'm censored like crazy. I understand it's not going out to people, but please, supposedly hitting the like, it helps. I don't know if that's true, but hey, if it helps, click it for me. But more importantly, share. Go to other channels. When you're at other channels, talk about it. Say, hey, this just, this information. Here's some information I heard, and I heard it here. Do that, please. And I only say that because I want people to know. This is but I believe that that's the Paul Revere type, and you know what I mean by that. That group, they're going to do it, but they have stated that they need, first of all, they need that digital army, and they need people like me. They need people on the YouTubes, and they have to be smart. I'm not that careful, but I do believe I'm somewhat protected. I do believe that. I have one friend, and mind over matter, I don't know. I haven't talked to them in a while, and I don't know. Maybe I'll give him a call, but mind over matter. Anyways, okay. So let me keep playing.
You went from foreign governments and enemies to domestic.
To both.
And your own soldiers.
To both. But then it gradually even got worse towards the domestic.
Because that's how you ended up watching me?
True.
Like you ended up in the truth community, you ended up trying to figure out.
That's why I got out of the Navy, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't want to lie to you. Richie from Boston is one of the first I seen, but it was actually Anthony Patch was the first I saw. And I was watching Anthony Patch, which led me to Richie, because they used to work together. And that was kind of like the beginning of me watching YouTube for truth. In my own way, because I had a unique experience in the Navy, you know, I realized, you know, things aren't what they seem always, and that, you know, there's a lot of technology we don't realize, and it's very important to understand what technology they're doing. But if you're a Christian, how that correlates, because I'm telling you right now, if all this different, there's so much different. For instance, out of self-learning AI, okay, then you got the patent number, which, by the way, I found this on my own, for 666, and what that is for, and you can watch that video on here too. What that is for is they put a chip in your hand. I'm sorry. They put a transdermal multi-array patch on you. That's how I found it. I was researching that because I found them interesting. Because what happens is either they take it off or like it kind of dissolves, and what it leaves behind is quantum dots, it's called. And these quantum dots, they by then will have 5G, okay? But or whatever communication system there is, right? It will relay a signal to that, and basically just they'll be able to. It'll be the same way information travels. I just don't want to say too much because I understand exactly, like with the frequencies and the high frequency, very high frequency, ultra high. I don't want to get into it because I feel like it might be classified. I don't know. I don't want to get into too much of the frequency stuff, but it's freaking crazy. But anyways, it sends it off, okay? You guys understand. The same way your cell phone would. You have a quantum dot on you. And it's going to be 5G by then. This is how so your communication network, and that communication network, it gives the okay. As long as your body activity data and your brainwave data. So we're talking what you do, where you go, and what you think. All right? We're not just talking like your heart rate and, at first it'll probably be for some medical thing, some medical breakthrough. Hell, they're able to, people with this now don't have to, because whenever it's about to happen, the quantum dot from the 5G automatically, sends a signal that, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just, we don't need 911 anymore. If something is happening, you'll know, because before you have a heart attack, sometimes you have like there's little signs, and you're supposed to look for them, like numbness. Listen to this. It's so important. My father died right in front of me of a heart attack, moving a piano. But based on his notes, when we were in a truck, I was in one truck, he was in another truck. But he was writing notes, and based on those notes, it's so weird. It's like, why would he write that? It's like he knew he was gonna have a heart, like, die. We were all really puzzled by it. But there are signs, and like numbness in your arm and things like that. I showed you guys Ron Paul live. He had a like a mini stroke live during an interview. I mean, it was freaky, and I love Ron Paul. So it'll come out like that. That's how it always is. Something like that. If anything's about, it'll know you're going to have a heart attack, and the 911, you don't have to call 911. The paramedics show up and say, hey, you're going to have a heart attack in probably like a week. We got to bring you to the hospital. Eventually, it's going to be hooked up to something, and my whole thing is, okay, well, is it going to be mandatory, one? And two, in what way is the ultimate question asked? And you guys know what the ultimate question is. The ultimate question is taking the mark. Is it just something as simple as yes? People thought that, people still think the internet or these smartphones, using these smartphones was taking the mark. I don't believe that. People thought barcodes because of the numbers was taken. I never believed that. But you know what? The technology now with quantum mechanics and artificial intelligence and 5G and all of that, I shouldn't even say that. This video is never going to get out there. Anyways, all those things put together, I'm telling you, they just have to flip the switch. That's all they have to do. It's there. It's ready. The technology's out there. That's really what it feels like. Which is why, if we have any hope, and some people think, hey, like I said, there's a small percentage, all of this stuff going on with Paul Revere, it might be a huge, reverse psyop that is really taking us off a cliff. So I always keep that in the back of my mind. Like it might actually just be AI. You know what I mean? Except, I don't know if AI shows compassion, talks about God all the time. I just don't think it's AI. I don't know. It's kind of weird only because the way they do it, they ask questions, and that's how AI they'll ask questions, and another question, another question, another question. So, anyways, it's actually the first video I made. So if anyone just to prove that I've been doing this forever, I'll finish this video. But all right, so I'll finish so this, by the way, the patent for what I'm talking about that reads your body activity and your brain wave. So I'm assuming they can read your mind. I think that technology is already out there where they can read your mind. I believe. But at the same time, there's a certain line that I don't think can be crossed. And when it's crossed, bang, end days. Just like the days of Noah. They said there was giants. There's certain books that aren't in the Bible that if it wasn't for a king or two, or Constantine, who actually was born a pagan, and these guys made changes to the Bible, but the Bible, they say that it's been over time, and I've seen people that I love on my channel say over time the Bible's been so watered down. I don't believe that, not at all. It's been translated, yes. Are there other books? Yes. The Dead Sea Scrolls, really. That whole story is wicked interesting. I do believe every word in that, and also just like the Constitution, I believe in a more literal translation. Now there's a couple words that I think might be tough. Like I always wonder about the rapture part. The actual word. I believe in Hebrew, it's like harper, or it's almost like a harp, something like that. Harbor, like a harbinger, kind of like that. It's kind of like spelled like that. I can't think right now. But you got the people that when they read the Bible, they see pre-trib and then post-trib, and I'm mid-trib. If I had to guess, I don't know. I'm not gonna claim I know that. That's what. But I would think it's a mid-trib. It's supposed to be 3.5 years, and then 3.5 years, right? 3.5, 3.5, 7 and all. I don't know. And then we had this sign. Oh, and by the way, this is when I started watching. And guys, sorry for this, but I needed to do this. I just gotta I just wanted to talk about some stuff, get it off my chest, because I think this channel might be going down. So I'm just gonna tell you a little bit more about myself that I never have. So I first started watching the YouTube videos leading up to September 23rd, 20, was that 17 or 16? 2016, I believe. Oh, no, 2017. I'm gonna check after this video. I think it's 2017. It wasn't 2018. That's too soon. Anyways, yeah, content tracing team. Okay, big deal. What about him? He is what? Hey, you guys know who that is, right? Yeah, the Revelation 12 sign. Exactly, Truth Warrior. Um, do we have any mods in here? Hold on, I want to look at the chat. Cause I just saw something. You know what? Why are you putting this? Why are you doxing him on my chat? That's not cool, man. Who's doing that? Someone's like doxing him. What's that? He is. Yeah, and he's not. He's not. Well, he's not. What? He's not legit. Oh, cause you said so, Mr. Fucking fake, fucking nobody. Someone was too fucking scared to put their face on there. I know exactly who you are. You're a punk, Snaps. Get the fuck out of here. All right? Did you take my advice and get a VPN? All right? I caught you last time. All right? Last time it was the not the content tracing team, but the contact tracing team. Remember that little channel you had? Yeah. All right? Yeah, it's crazy. I'm not upset that the mod's on here. It's just it's just I mean, I can do it. It's just I shouldn't have to be worrying about that. And I don't usually look at the chat. It's just I saw something out of the corner of my eye, and I was reading what Truth War was saying. So, anyways, listen, that guy talking. You wanna do that to him? That guy talking, Matthew Sims from Arizona. Yeah, he got caught last time talking to somebody she's the last person to do a donation about 3 months ago. She's the one who helped, and then I matched it, and we were able to get the whole green screen. And he told her that she was a bot or something, like a fake bot, like not a real person, which is so rude. You know what I mean? Just like he is now. He's a disgusting person. He's a fucking disgusting human being. And I don't care if he almost died recently. I do care. I do. But you know what? You're an asshole. And you keep starting shit. You know I'm a Christian. You know I don't want to do this. But I will fucking tear you apart with words. Do you know him? You know me. All right? And I don't want to be that guy. And my audience doesn't like it when I get like that. Well, I don't know. Half do, half don't. But listen, what I will say is shut the fuck up, Matthew. Okay? From Arizona. Shut up. Because last time I even spent a couple bucks just to get the best equipment to make sure. And of course, where did it go? Right to where you fucking live in your little shitty city in Arizona. All right? So I know exactly where you are. So is that a coincidence? Huh? I knew it was you. I was like in my head. It's like if it was a science project. My hypothesis is Snaps is a piece of shit, and he's fucking with woman, and that woman is such a sweet woman. You have no idea who you were talking to. I spoke to her. She's such a sweet woman who got a spread somewhere. Okay, and she got like a spread of land. She's very nice. She's a great human being. And you go talking to her like that, just like you're talking about Richie. Richie's been nothing but good to me. You know what? I think that he actually, because you all of a sudden went after him, just because he had a video, And you legit started just like the you made the whole thing about tinfoil. Oh, but then I showed the video of what Amanda was looking up. She was looking for marijuana. Remember when she was looking for marijuana? How do you fix a marijuana oil? You know, from the vape pen. That's all she's searching that online, not knowing that she's live. And like a fucking creep at 3 in the morning, she's only got like a little bit on. You're watching her. You're a fucking creep, bro. And you're watching her, and then you go around, and so she's writing stuff, and then she's like, can you take the oil from the, because they had broken, and she's like, can you use tinfoil to do it? And she wrote with marijuana oil. Okay, so and by the way. Do I have to mention? Most people know, she cervical cancer. Okay, so and then you decide, and you know that she has cervical cancer, and you still went after her. You're a piece of shit. You fucking piece of shit. And then I showed how much of a piece of shit you were when I showed the video. All right, and all that dumb shit that you did with all the tinfoil, putting it on your mouth, making hats. How dumb do you look? It shows how fake you are and how lies come out of your mouth so seamlessly. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Then he makes another video. I have my nightstand, and it was a mess. It had all kinds of shit all over it. So I hit the button. You know how your camera can like go to your face and then go away. I hit the wrong button. It showed my nightstand it was a mess, right? I don't freaking care. My nightstand can be whatever it is, you know? So I hit it again. And then he makes a whole video. His house is a mess. His poor kid, he's out there. There's tinfoil. Meanwhile, no one knows. I still have the video of Amanda. So I said, fuck it. And then at the same time, Iggy went at me. Me and Iggy are cool now. But Iggy was saying some shit. He even believed snaps on a couple things. I couldn't believe it. So I had to prove everything wrong. I addressed everything. Because that's how I approach things. And then I prove it. You're just a punk that talks shit. So what you said, Richie recommended one of my videos when I caught someone who claimed to be in the army, claimed to be in a war, and his best friend died in his arms, which is a very when you're military and you hear that, it sounds like something a civilian would say if they were faking to be military. And he has a Russian accent. It's a totally freaking legit situation. And he's an Uber driver as well. Now, you play that video, and then Richie plays that video. The part that he cuts out respectfully is I get dropped off. I'm yelling at him at this point. I'm yelling at the guy. And then I see my mother, and I start talking to my mother, on camera. I'm like, that fucking... It was a real situation. You tried to say it was staged. That was the rumor you spread. And because you are part of a cult, it seems like everyone thinks that. And I think Richie got a little like, is this really staged? And he took the video down. Or maybe just to not hear from you anymore. Because you're a friggin' pain in the ass. All right? You're somebody who's dying, who's miserable, so you try to mess with people. Get your shit together. I know that you're Mafugal's dog, all right? But he needs to put you back on a leash. Or I'm telling you, I'm gonna let it all out. I'm gonna release the phone calls, which he agreed to be recorded. Okay? Adam, you agreed to be recorded. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. Whoa! Did you see what just popped up? Dealing with anger. All right, did anyone just see what just popped up on my screen? It was just one of those random things. Dealing with anger? Wow. All right, I'm going to leave you alone now. I guess that's a sign just to leave you alone. Bro, that might be a bad sign for you. You might not be, Maybe I shouldn't be mean to you right now. You know, go eat some ice cream. Have an adventure. You never know. And bro, I really mean, I don't want you to die, but you're a prick. All right? Don't ever come on my channel talking shit again. But you will. You will. You always do. And you ruin my videos every time. You know why? Because you got no game, brother. You got no content. You don't got shit. You play other shit. You do what I was gonna do on this video. That's as far as you go. You have no actual you don't really formulate any opinion that really makes people think. You're just a piece of shit. You're always at war with somebody. West Virginia, you go after West Virginia. And she's somebody who talk shit about me once or twice or a bunch of times maybe. I didn't watch her videos. But I didn't go after her. I don't really do that. I just don't like your dear leader, his style. But I stopped attacking him. But then, you know what? When I get kicked off D-Live after one video, and I see that he's really good friends with a girl who made me a mod, and she used to be in Hollywood and shit. You know what I'm talking about. And then all of a sudden I'm kicked off after one video. I'm not stupid, all right? And I friggin' tracked your ass down when you try to say it wasn't you on the what are you now? Your contact tracing? No, now you're content tracing team. Before it was contact tracing team. Then I said it was you. You claimed it wasn't. And I proved it was you. Okay? I proved it. I tracked you right down to your home. But look at this. This is because I have like Bible stuff on my phone. Dealing with your anger. What does the Bible say about anger? Can my phone tell I'm angry? Or is that just like a sign? I'm just gonna leave him alone, I guess. Okay, Matthew, go have some ice cream. Okay, go back. Make a video about hate and talk about women that are sick. Do that. Yeah, I hate even talking bad about you because of your health. I really don't want to do it. So just go away. All right, go away and tell your dear leader. Tell him he needs to start talking about the real shit. Why is it that when he was first a YouTuber, for a whole year or something like that, forever, him and his girl had a show with, well, they are paid by Dustin Nemos to do it, $1,800. I can't even pay my rent with $1,800. But I guess that's the price for Adam to, own his ass. At least back in the day. Now he's worth way more. He's built a cult. But before, that was the price for his soul. I shouldn't say soul, but I'm talking crap. So $1,800 from Dustin Nemos he takes to talk about that letter. Okay? I do it because I believe in it. And guess what? All that work I've done, sticking with it, while everybody's saying it's not, it's bull, it's this, it's that. And trust me, I have my moments where I thought, no, is it? But everything's right. It must be. So I stuck with it. And things started making more and more sense. And I started seeing more and more lingo, military lingo, that you'll never understand. That's what I'm saying. Dude, and that's another thing. The only reason you even have one subscriber is you literally, your whole life revolves around Mafugo. That's why. Okay? Your whole life revolves around that. So you're on there with your emojis and you calling in 1,000 times. And that's all his show's turned into. It's like people calling in trying to build channels. And now what you have is a bunch of retards who shouldn't have a channel. They really shouldn't. You know, he tries to be a nice guy, or he tries to appear to be a nice guy. He's not a nice guy. I wrote everyone I ever had a problem with a letter. I even did it to you when you were sick in the hospital. And I wrote to Adam a long email talking. I went through every little thing with him, every little thing. I apologized where I was wrong, and where I wasn't, I just, agree to disagree or whatever. It is what it is. Kind of like the 1800 from Nemo's. He took the money, not me. You know what I mean? So he takes that money, and what's he do with it? He goes and he talks about that letter. All right? The 17th letter. All right? So he's talking about that. Yeah, 100% it's him. Yeah, well, because it's too. I tracked him. I got some equipment, tracked him, and it's so funny because Adam sells these VPNs, you know what I mean? So you can, no one can track you. And his boy, come on, man, you ain't supporting Adam. You're not buying his VPN and his EMP. Well, the VPN at least, you should have got that. You didn't have it. I don't know. Maybe you got one now. You got the balls to come talk trash. But then again, you only changed the name a little bit. Last time it was Contact Tracing Team. And I traced that, and I know exactly where he lives. That's the thing. So I do know it's him. Yeah, and I'm not trying to, I'm trying to make a video, and I was actually just trying to, like, be straight up with you guys and just, like, tell you a little bit. So anyways, I was talking about Revelation 12. But let me finish Adam off. So he takes money from Neil's, right? He's taking this money, $1,800, the exact number. Fact. He said it was a loan. Bullshit. Hey. You have to go? Alright, I'll be right up. So he says it was a loan. That's bullshit. Okay? And Nemo's, he's a nice guy. He's okay enough. I don't know him enough. I guess he's a nice guy. I watch him here and there. He's not exactly entertaining. But, and sometimes he takes it too far, and I'm not too sure about it. There's been a few times he like went too far, and it's like, dude, you're kind of going down that hole, and you're just kind of stuck on some stuff that I don't think is true. But anyways, there's always those people. There's a lot of information that's bull, and it makes I don't like it because there's a lot of truth as well, and it makes the real truth look bad. You know what I mean? Look by the way, just so you guys know, I didn't ban him or nothing. He just knows that I know it's him, and he doesn't want to go there. And plus, thank you for stepping off, Snaps. But I do have to finish my thought. So, took 1,800, and this isn't a bad thing, what I'm going to say after that, though that's bad. I think that's kind of, I wouldn't. I've been approached by the, okay? The guys, all right? I've gotten the phone call. I got the call. I said no. Real talk. All right? It's pretty obvious. Look at my views. Look at my... All right? I got that call. I said no. No need for that. Because you know what? They're deep staters. They're not like the real... like the military. No. They would be down for what I'm saying. They would be allies. We would align. It would make sense. Oh yeah, him. He has to be. He's dying. He probably just gets disability. He definitely gets Social Security. He gets Social Security. He definitely. I don't want to really talk about it, but I mean, how does he do it without working? Easy. When you have an illness like that, they're gonna give you a home, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. And anybody who's sick like that and they're an American, you should get enough money to live. All right. Now there's people who abuse it. That's what sucks. You know, you should get your food stamps. These are my beliefs. You know what I mean? I'm right. I lean right. You know, as I get older, I lean further and further right. But when it comes to like, you know, helping people that are in need, I am extremely left. Not socialism, but I'm talking people who are sick. Okay? People, single mothers who don't have the means to take, you know, they have a child. What are they going to do? Yeah. What are they going to do? What if I died, for instance? How would Amanda be able to pay the bills, take care of our daughter, and you know what I mean? And daycare, the price that daycare is, these people need help. So how does Snaps do it? If that was the question someone asked, he just he gets he has health issues, you get all the help. You know, Section 8, Social Security. It's called Section 8, right? Is that what it's called? And then Social Security.
Yeah, dude.
Yes, you look so beautiful, my baby. By the way, when I was yelling like that, I made sure to go in the bathroom. Yeah, it looks a little crazy. Okay, I'm making a video. I'll show you when you on it. You want to say something, and then I'll show you later. You want to say your name's Olivia?
Yeah.
Tell everyone your name.
Hi, my name is Olivia.
And then later, I'll play it, and you can watch it. Okay? All right, cool. So that's whatever. So now as far as Adam's situation, hey, maybe this is what I've always had a weak spot, because there was a point where there was like a group, and we had information, and it got screwed up. And I was a little angry it got screwed up, because I felt like it got rushed. And, I don't know. They were like trying to get Adam so bad that they were blaming him for something he didn't do. Now, don't get me wrong. He was definitely part of it. And right there when it happened. I know that. But I'm gonna save that. I like to save ammo, and I have the proof. That's why you can't. It's just saying things. That's weak. So I'm not gonna get into it that much. But I'm just gonna finish my thought though, because right now I look at it as that letter. So that whole thing, it's been proven true. It's there's no question anymore. Anybody who says it's not true has not kept up. You just simply haven't kept up because you thought it wasn't real, so you didn't keep up, and you don't understand that everything they've ever talked about, like in a very efficient drip information way, has came true. Like, we're talking things 2 years ago that people thought applied to right then. They were really, so let's say we're in September 2018, right? Or no, October 1st, 2018. They're like, it's Red October. Something's going to happen. It's going to be with a submarine and Russia. They'll start getting crazy, right? They really think that. But I don't blame them, right? I thought it too. I'm like, okay, so what happened though is a bunch of people start doing research, which is why I still leave the door open to it being like AI. And really, it's just a bunch of people doing all this research. I mean, tracking everything, tracking planes, tracking every boat. You can track every plane. You can look at all the military, where all the military, well, you don't know where all of it is, but some of it, you can kind of get an idea maybe of troop movements, Where I think that's where Adam might, he could get in trouble with it. He should be more careful with that on his Discord. That's all I'm going to say. So, just to give him a clue. So it's proven true. And so all these people are doing that anonymous. I'm not anonymous, right? So I'm just saying I believe it. All right? I've been on the boards. I know it. I know all about it, and I just I follow along. And I thought this is not a channel just for that. There's a bunch of channels just for that, right? Am I that? No. Do I talk about it on some maybe 1 out of 10 videos? Yes. Lately, have I talked about it a lot? Yes, because it's been proven true. Everything has been proven true. Everything from 3 years ago. I'm telling you, you can't deny it no more. You can't deny it anymore. There's certain posts you can look at from 2017, 2018. It'll lie it out. Listen to what Graham said. We're talking Bruce Orr, Nellie Orr, all these Yates, everyone who signed the FISA, all that. So the whole FISA bit, and then he went into other things too. All right. You know what? Do you know what I think is next? By the way, and I'm gonna get into this later. But earlier I was saying it might be Obama because they said it's gonna be bigger than Hillary being the one that was actually working with the Russians and Obama knowing about it the whole time. And he set up a meeting on January 5th. They all unmasked Biden. Biden's on tape talking about it's bad. It's bad. There's even phone calls that I and all of this is on my channel. There's phone calls of Biden speaking to the president of Ukraine. All kinds of crazy shit, right? And on top of that, all the stuff that's come true over time. And it's real. It's real. Because what's just happened, these dominoes that just fell, I'll go back to, okay, so Dan Coates is replaced. But just like all the positions, they put someone in for a short period of time. They do something, it's almost like they do the dirty work, and then they get replaced for the guy that he really wants for the job. It's almost like he knows this person's loyal, so you get in there. All right, you take care of it. You're the, that position would be the director of national intelligence, which people don't realize. All the intelligence committees, someone in the government would say all 17. All I'm going to say is there's much more than 17, okay? And there's some really interesting ones. And Q actually, walked us through, and they took it over and took out the guys who are running a very important one. One that, let's just say, some of these people that we are recently talking about have were special access programs, which were really intelligence services, given access to other countries. I mean, that's unbelievable. Now, it was satellites, and it was NROC, corn backwards. That's why the whole thing with the corn, harvesting the corn, you see Grassley writing about it. I'm telling you, there's meaning there. Now, what does it mean? Okay, well, I knew about NROC, so I was thinking that, right? But then it seems like it might be about something else. Just with some of the talk that's happened. So just throwing that out there. If anyone wants to check that out, it's very interesting. A nice little rabbit hole if you want to go down it. But just to finish off, Adam. So takes the money, and he talked about that letter every day. He made videos every day. I don't see them anymore. Him and his girl, who's way out of his league. It's a compliment, all right? Way out of his league. So, and they sit down and they talk about it. And they talk about the posts. And then posts are coming in while they're talking. Yeah, they love it. They were all excited. They love it. Then something happens. You know, then he turned into a corporation. You know what I mean? Got LLC. Bullshit. You know what I mean? That, like, ugh. Disgusting. You know, the type of stuff that's disgusting. Okay? That real truthers don't like. Meanwhile, hundreds of thousands of people all about it. And they call themselves Fugal Fam. And they really, like, that's their name on Twitter. Like, get out of here. You really? Is that, you think that's like, what, like that's like your number one thing, that your name's on Twitter? All right, maybe you have a second Twitter account, but that's pathetic, man. It's a corporation, and it's the information. There's nothing there. He did well in the virus. I'll say that much. That's all I'll say. He did well in the virus. He was very early on the virus, just as early as I was. And I didn't learn about it through him. I learned about it just through research. You know, I always look at Russia like their top news. China, it's real tough. You know, it's tough to get things out of China. Basically, you can't really get anything. You know, but I have my theories. I think that, you know, China's in a tough spot. What I'm going to say is that, okay, so there's a dam in China, and if that dam gets damaged, 400 million people die. That's a tough spot to be in. Okay? That's a tough spot. So even Taiwan was taunting them, because remember they were getting flooded out? I mean, just a couple monsoons that, you know, we have certain technology that we've had since at least Vietnam, where we met weather modification, all right, to put it lightly. There's many channels that are totally committed to this stuff, and it's 100% real. People don't even, like, realize, like, there's things going on in the sky that weren't going on before. But I guess it just happens over time, and we're also brainwashed with devices. But anyway, so just to finish out, I keep on saying that, but all I'm saying is he was all about it before, and now, Adam, all the fruit of that labor, even though you were getting paid that $1,800, you were genuinely into it. At least I thought, but I guess you're just about money, because now that it's all coming true and it's being proven true, not a peep out of you. Instead, you're talking about. I wanted to see if you were going to talk about it, so I like skimmed your show, because I honestly, I get a little bit, like, I want to throw up. Every 2 seconds is an ad, and I'm not talking about an ad like, no, I mean like him, like, well, buy an EMP shield. It'll save your life. You'll be the only one with a car. And in a situation where everyone's, you know, freaking out. Yeah, you'll be good. Man, you'll be the only one with lights on in your house. Good luck. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. People don't think things through. But, you know, I end up listening. He's talking about what is it called? Like falsified trees. You know, I don't know, man. He's not even talking about this stuff that's going down, and it's gonna continue to go down. And guess who's next, guys? Here's the. If you stuck with me through all of this, then you deserve this. The Vatican. Right now, Pompeo is over there. The Vatican won't let him in because there's something going on. There's something going on. You know those weirdos that protect the Vatican, that wear the Swiss? What is it? They're from Switzerland, right? The Swiss God, right? What do you think they're gonna do? Yeah, I was always curious. What if somebody really did attack the Vatican? Is the Swiss Guard gonna fight in their friggin' weird uniform? Like they like wear like a dress? What is it? Like they look like someone in a play from Peter Pan in the 1980s. You know what I mean? I meant 1800s. You know what I mean? They look so weird. It's like that's what you're gonna fight in. You know what I mean? Like, where's your Don't you need like some camouflage? You know what I mean? Are you gonna hide behind the acorn that represents the pineal gland? Because the pineal gland is like basically like where the soul lies. I believe that. I mean, the pineal gland is so interesting that to say the soul lies there, that's strong, but there's a lot to it. There's a lot to that pineal gland, and that's what that big acorn, statue they have, is. And by the way, you ever wonder why the penises are so small? It's not because yours is so big. It's because back in the day, having like a small penis meant you were intelligent. Like, a savage would have. That's just how they thought. That's true. That was told to me by a couple tour guides. I couldn't believe it. But yeah. So very interesting stuff. I mean, you're very intelligent. They were wise. So very wise men, like in real life. You know what I mean? Like if somebody was very wise and cunning, like Trump, he would have a micro penis back in the day. I'm telling you, I'm seeing the signs of this channel going down. So I'm kind of loosening up a bit. But okay, so that's the big news, guys. Keep your eye on it, okay? Now, China is always an issue. That's an ongoing issue. But we nailed them. We formed these typhoons, and it was so obvious. They were doing it right from Okinawa. You could see if you had the right equipment. Like if you went to, I believe. Oh, I want to say Mike Morales. Is he the one who got it? Or BP Earthwatch? One of them got it, and they got it at the right time. They showed the beams going out, and all of a sudden a huge typhoon forms, and then right away, like 2 days later, another one. And this is after they got rain for like a ridiculous amount of days, and it never stopped. It was just non-stop. And you know that they like have a fake sun, and they do weather monitor. Well, we messed with it, and anyways, we flooded them out. Like, if there's video, if you've seen some of the video, it happened in Japan. Everyone just thought it was just a natural disaster, huge flood in Japan. I said, no, that's an attack. That something went down, because we had 2 carrier strike groups out there. And we actually broke the record for the most military ships on deployment at one time, and the longest deployments of all time. A ship just returned 2 days ago, longest deployment of all time. I'm about to hit you with a bunch of facts and then sign off. Okay, also today, Red October, 100. It's the what's it called? It's the picture to the video. It's either you can see it yourself, but it's 100 and you know what? All right, let me finish this video.
Because I have emotional support, so you have PTSD. Domestic. Because how you ended
this
up
dude's solid, all right?
Like you ended up in the truth community, you ended up trying to figure out. That's why I got out of the Navy, honestly. Really? Yeah. Dude, that's amazing. There's too many guys just keep holding on, even though they know it's wrong. No, and I've been awake for a long time, but it's really been these last few years.
The Patriot Act is
I used to watch you with Anthony Patch, and
it was just renewed.
I just want to let people know, though, Richie,
He's legit. There's a lot of fucking haters out there. Yeah. Excuse my language.
And you know, that's the reason I'm saying I'm playing this. I want people to know they shut him down, all right? But he has another channel, RFB2. So please check him out. Hopefully it's there. He also has like another channel where he just like, it's a pretty cool life, man. Like no kids, no wife, just take, it's an awesome truck. Like this thing's like amazing. I've never seen anything like what he has. It's just, like, it's one of those things you would think it's illegal, but it's not. Like, forget about off-road. This is like for driving up mountains. Like, you guys have probably seen it, but if you want, it's called Jailbreak Overlander. And if you watch that, you get, like, one time he's in Massachusetts, believe it or not, and he saw an owl. I didn't know they had owls native here. And he literally snuck, and you know, he was actually looking for the owl because he said he saw it, but he didn't get it on video. He wanted to get it on video and ended up getting a friggin' beautiful video. I mean, he could have got paid by National Geographic to do this. He could get paid by them. He should think about that because he's good at it. You know, he doesn't care. He'll go out there, he'll sleep out there, he'll be prepped. He does it. He lives like that. If something goes down, he's like gonna live longer than anyone because he actually, you can get the gear, but if you don't know how to use it, it's no good. You know what I mean? Like he's out there. You can watch his videos; they're interesting, and I suggest for everybody, you know, take a weekend. If you do get some gear, take a weekend, go out, really get out there, okay? You know, do it safe. You don't want anyone dying. Make sure it's not going to be too cold, all right, where you get hypothermia or get lost. But go out there. Get a little lost. It's okay. Go out there and use your gear. Use your compass. Use your, you see when you're sleeping, you know, the different things you have. You know, your water. Just see how it works. But don't bring water with you. Try it. Well, no, of course bring water with you. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. But act as if you didn't bring water with you. Purify water. You know, there's so many different tactics. You know, like if you watch Naked and Afraid, you know, there's a lot of interesting people on there. And they're the people, but you know what? They're experts, okay? A lot of them are veterans. And then it's like day 2 and they're like, screw this, I'm going home. And it's not the naked part, it's the bugs and the people don't realize. They think it's so easy. It's not that easy to just bug out. It's not that easy, especially if you're alone. Okay, it's a little easier, but it's still wicked hard. Okay? It's actually good to have one person. It's the kids that make things difficult, I think. But if you have like another person, like a female, like on that show, if you're a male and there's a female, okay, totally platonic. The male will last longer with the female there. Because there's always work to do. Firewood, things, you know what I mean? And a female can do hunting and everything that a man can do. It just depends on the woman. So it's you know, I'm just saying, it wouldn't hurt to one weekend do that. Do that for a whole weekend. Maybe, like, you know, it'd be interesting. And and it'll also help with anxiety of what if I do have to bug out. I recommend the bug in. Personally, I just think the chances of survival are higher. I think that people underestimate living in the elements. You know, like I went through this training program where they let us loose and they come find us, and then they're allowed to actually break a bone, and so they break your finger. I got my finger broken. They put me in a cage, and you have fake intel. And they're asking you, and they're trying to get it out of you, and it feels real. And there's guys who they end up. I got to the point where I was hallucinating. I didn't sleep. They wouldn't let me sleep. Do you know what the worst torture you can do to somebody? They think it's waterboarding, all this stuff. I don't know, maybe. You know what it really is? Sleep deprivation. You sleep deprive somebody, okay? About the fifth day, they're gonna start hallucinating. They're gonna start like going crazy. Trust me. That's what they were doing. That's what they're doing in Guantanamo with a lot of the people they catch. Sleep deprivation. They don't let them sleep, and the tactics they use to keep them awake. Loud music. Banging things, and they just play like loud music. And if they are able to kind of drift off despite it, they'll switch it up. Alarm. They really, I mean, I don't know, man. It's cruel, but hey, you got to remember who these guys are. Sleep deprivation is the most effective, in my opinion. So, anyways, I was out there. Yeah, they put me in a cage, like a dog cage. Sucked. I didn't get found though. I think it lasted so long. I was breathing through a straw. I got a foxhole. I basically buried myself. Breathe through a straw. But only when I heard them coming close. But I had the foxhole ready to go. It was pretty good. It was a pretty good tactic. I made it a little bit, but it's not easy living like that. And I had gear and training. It's not easy to live like that. And even with that training, I think about being out there with my family. People just like, especially on that channel that I was talking about earlier. I'm not gonna bash him anymore, but I don't want to do that. But they all make it sound like, oh, well, we're just gonna bug out, man. Yeah, you don't realize until you do it, and that's what everyone says on Naked and Afraid. They're like, listen, at home, you'd think you'd make it, but in reality, you wouldn't make it one night. All right, it's not easy. It's not easy. You don't like bugs? Oh, guess what? You're gonna have so many bugs biting you at once. It's like gonna be a symphony of bites nonstop. Just you know what I mean? Like it's unbelievable. Anyways, so I just want to say, eyes on the Vatican, guys. What I do know is that despite how big that news was, that we had 2 years of Mueller, right? 2 years of him. And after 2 years of Mueller, it's like nobody cares anymore. Remember every late night show. This is back when people actually watched late night shows. Now they lost all credibility, and opinion shows. I don't call them news anymore. They're opinion shows. And what opinions do you want? Left, right, far left? We got it all. You want MSDNC, DNC? That's the far left. Then you got the left, CNN, and Fox is supposed to be the right, but in reality, they're still like, when it comes to the elites and their interests. Oh yeah, no, they don't mess around. Like Brett Baer, and they're all clowns. Trust me, legit clown, if you know what I mean. But I don't know that for a fact, but I'm pretty sure. The only ones that can speak freely, it seems, is and Tucker and Hannity, and maybe the one after Hannity, the woman with the blonde hair. I believe they can. Oh, and maybe Waters. And the guy with the backwards hat and the funny guy. I think those people that I just named, they have like enough clout they can speak freely. I mean, look what they did to what's his name? O'Reilly. So people can be replaced, but at the same time, if you got enough clout, you can kind of push back. And you should push back. That's what reporters are supposed to do, that and risk their lives. And like real reporters used to risk their lives to get the story. Now it's just like, I don't know. It's just disgusting. It's disgusting. So, all right, we just talked about a lot. I was gonna finish playing this video, but you guys get it, right? So that's Richie. I just wanted to make sure that people know that if you haven't seen his channel and you haven't seen him in a long time, hey, just go to, what's it called? He is RFB2. You can get him there, you know. So I'm going to go right now. So this says Trump reflects on debate. I haven't even played that yet. So I'm gonna go right there. All right. Oh, here's the facts I wanted to. This is why I put this graphic up. So I'm gonna say potential 10 days of darkness. All right. This whoever made this feels that this is Red October. Okay. I showed you. Right. I showed you this right here. Oh, there's actually been stuff since I've been talking. Look, Red October. It's October 1st. All right. You guys know what channel this is. You can see up top. Steve Scully, moderator for second presidential debate. While attending college, he served as an intern in the office of Joe Biden. Wow. So Trump gets a bad break, and he literally, what did I say? If anyone who watched my video, it's a good video. This one, if you don't like this video, this is very rare where I just kind of talk. It's just because I think they're gonna try to take my channel down. So I'm just kind of giving you guys a little bit more background information about me. Defending those that I think are legit and exposing those who are not. I mean, it's pretty simple. If you can't figure it out on your own, I don't know what to tell you. But I mean, I get it. I watched Adam, but once you get the facts, it's hard. Now, here he is. So this is the guy doing the friggin' debate. He used to work in Joe Biden's office. That's bullshit. Now, do you see what I mean? Paul Revere. This is the type of information I didn't even know. I don't even know where it's being held. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what channel. I knew Fox was the first one, and it was in Cleveland. I know nothing about the second debate. I thought the second debate was going to be canceled. The Biden's camp was talking about canceling the debate. I mean, I think he obviously, lost and got ripped apart. But I gave him credit because he didn't have any gaffes. Except, I think he lost basically the far left because he just threw that Green New Deal that they were working on all this time right out the fucking window when he said it's Green New Deal is $20 billion. And Trump would not. Once he said that, Trump had him in the crosshairs. He goes, "What did you just say, Joe? 20? Are you out of your mind? Do you know it's $100 trillion?" And Biden knew it, and he knew he had him, and he made a decision, I think, on the fly. And he goes, I don't support the Green New Deal." After just saying he did, and then he goes, "It's the Biden deal." So I don't know. So there's no way he can call it the Biden deal, but it really has the stuff that was in the Green New Deal because it would cost $100 trillion. You know what I mean? These people, and then imagine that. Imagine if we trusted the government under Joe Biden. Okay? The vice president to one of the most corrupt presidents of all time. He is wicked corrupt. He's maybe the most corrupt vice president of all time. He wrote the laws of if you're on welfare, there can't be a man in the house. Oh, great. That really did friggin' wonders for I don't understand why black people like him. That decimated the black community. You have a bunch of people now growing up without fathers because you need the money. So the fathers were almost encouraged to kind of sleep, and not be there. Because if they were there, guess what? You don't get your welfare. So if you're going to choose between the two, what are you going to do? A mother. You know? Of course you're going to have him over, you have fun. But he's not there for staying, and eventually you meet someone else, have another. Come on. It's not that was horrible. But a million times worse, if it's possible, the 3-strike rule and all those adjustments that were made in the early 90s where it's not like, oh, he voted for it. He wrote it. He said, well, his people wrote it, but he got his name was on it. His name is literally on it. The bill that ended up with mass incarceration, stop and frisk, which, you know what? In certain situations, I'm cool with it. I mean, I don't get it. I had some lady the other day in a friggin' supermarket tell me I was walking down the wrong way in a friggin' aisle because they got arrows in the aisle. You know what I mean? I never pay. I'm bold. I walk the opposite way on purpose. You know what I mean? Like, don't fucking tell me which way to walk down an aisle in a shopping system. And the cameras are watching, and the thing is, you really gotta think, this is not science fiction, fellas. AI has been unleashed on the internet, which means it can access cameras, which means that if it really wanted, it could so quick, and we couldn't even understand. And now that classical computing is out the window, so now it's all about quantum computing. And quantum computing is a whole nother level. And now they just told us, I think they made the discovery long ago, but they just told us they made a discovery. Oh, that's going to help quantum computers. They claim they're at 5,000 qubits with the D-Wave machine. And if you don't know the D-Wave machine, trust me, look it up. All right. Also look up the guy who ran it, Gordy Rose. I'll say it again, Gordy Rose. Okay, look him up. Look at his speech in Vancouver, I believe. It was in Canada. And he's recruiting for his new company, which was Kindred, which is more like the robotics, right? So right now, they claim to be at 5,000 qubits. All right. I'm not going to say what the number is because that's kind of, that wouldn't be right for the U.S. military. But a certain number of qubits that you get to, they're not there yet. All of a sudden, cryptology becomes obsolete. Now, what does that mean? That means secure comms don't exist anymore. You need a D-Wave machine now. And you got to speak to another D-Wave machine. And it's going to be all about qubits and things like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be, I can't even picture what that would be like. It's mind-blowing. It's like, it's hard to imagine. Because just quantum mechanics itself, there's a famous quote. Anybody who says that they are an expert or they understand quantum mechanics is a liar. Because it's so complex. And also, the fact that it works proves multiple dimensions. Which, along with the findings at CERN, where they're smashing friggin' particles together like nothing, they just found the God particle. That proves, I think that it's evidence of God. You're not supposed to be able to know that there's God. Like, people are trying to, find the Bible, at least the Bible, that's what it says, right? You can't know. No one's going to know the day or the hour of end days, but there will be signs. Well, to me, I got the Revelation 12 sign, and I think it's legit. I mean, you check that out, and people claim it happened before. No, not every single thing at once happened before. Never. She was never pregnant. For 9 months, Jupiter does a circle. And then on the 23rd, all of a sudden, the three planets line up perfectly with Regulus of Leo. That's 12 stars. So it's the 12 stars on her head. She's clothed by the sun. Well, guess where the sun is at this time? Right, like on the middle of her. She's clothed with the sun. The moon at her feet. The moon is literally at the feet. And when I say her, by the way, it's Virgo. Like you draw the lines of Virgo. The moon's at the feet. The sun's right there. It sounds like fake. At first, I was like laughing at these people, and then I started to get my mind blown, because what really started blowing my mind was like realize, because there's like all the like cool software. You can go back in time and see exactly what the sky looked like at the time, which is how they can figure out what the Mayans were looking at, you know? And do you know that they actually said the Mayans, what was it about the Mayans? Oh, there was like, someone had figured it out, and like, they think they might be right. Because they did not have a zero, their math was far superior. And the real, like, everyone thought the world was going to end December 21st, 2012. Just put it this way. There's another date set out thing. I don't believe in that stuff, but if you want to look it up, there's some credibility to it as far as, like, why it makes sense. But I just think it means like a different quatrain, you know what I mean? A different you look back, yeah, you know what, things did kind of change around then. I mean, you think about December 21st, 2012, things kind of changed around then, since then. Kinda, yeah. There's been a lot of obviously 2001, 2008 was a big one. I feel like 2012 was a big year, and 2013, 2016, and then the biggest of them all, 2020. Here we are. So yeah, so they say they're at 5,000 qubits. They're probably more like 20,000 qubits because it grows exponentially. You know what I mean? Like 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. You know what I'm saying? Like, boom. So, it'll get out of hand real quick. It'll take over communications, but also that's how fast. What that will represent is how fast it can compute. And all it needs is data. That's why data is so important. They need to feed their quantum mechanics, their quantum computers, and the D waves, which is a quantum computer. And basically, our brain is technically like a quantum computer, the way it works. It's like our brains are. They're that fascinating. And then AI. And then there's so much more, too. It's just like the big ones. These are the big ones. What they're doing at CERN. DARPA, what they're doing with the weather. You think that happened in China naturally? They just happen to have these crazy floods. Water is the most destructive force. You know what I'm saying? Like, what did God, well, the Trinity, but what did God send? He sent water. He sent a flood, right? Water is the most destructive thing. We sent a flood to China. I'm telling you. I was at the point where I was convinced. I was like, motherfucker, Fort Detrick, they developed it with Redfield and Fauci, and they were part of it, and they knew about it. And then they said, you know what? We can't be doing this type of work. It's unethical to be building viruses like this. And all they did was just move it to a place where they don't give a shit. They'll pay you, where they are willing to let people work for 12 cents. They have nets for people who want to jump off the roof because they're working 20-hour days every day. And, you don't have a life. You're just like so sad. And it's just, you look at Hong Kong. And it's like, we can't let them become that. They're looking to us. You know what I mean? And they got balls. Because China's powerful. And we're not... They know that the U.S. isn't going to do an outright war for just because of Hong Kong. They're not going to do it. I'm telling you, like Vietnam, when the American people are not behind a war, it don't work out. It does not work out. Now, 9/11, all that, invasion of Iraq, we had morale. That was precision. We had Saddam. We got him out of a spider hole. I remember that day. I was in the Navy during that time. We were all so excited. Little did we know that we would turn into friggin' the police of the Middle East for the next forever until Trump came along. And now he's pulling them out. And little did I know, I was literally in Afghanistan helping the own demise of my neighborhood. My neighborhood, they made movies about how bad the oxys and the heroin were in my neighborhood. Well, like places I grew up. The whole area I grew up. Charlestown, Somerville, you know what I mean? Medford, Malden. All of it. Lynn. You know, that's where Richie's from. He says it all the time. It's the only reason I say it. Flooded. I mean, that's what he says to me in the video, too. He's like, oh, man, good place to get the OCs and shit. I'm like, yep, when I told him where I was from. So, yeah, it's horrible. And what a coinkydink. They say that OCs are not addictive. Somehow, all right, because I would hang out with a bad crowd. And I'm telling you, these guys would have, they would call them, like, you get a 100-pack of OC80s. And they're $80 a piece. I've seen them go for as high as $100 a piece once they started taking them off the market. And you know, all it is, it's supposed to be time release. You just put it in your mouth, just get it wet. That's all you have to do. And then you just rub your shirt on it or rub a towel on it. And the coating comes off like nothing. Like so easy. You know what I mean? Like children's water paint comes right off the coating that's supposed to make it a time release. Now you basically have pure like morphine or something. You know, it was OxyContin. It's its own thing, and they crush it and sniff it, and they get wicked high, and everyone was on it, and that's just the way things were. That's just the way things were. Literally, if you were where I grew up, literally, I would say about 50%, half of the people were addicted. It's that bad. And there's a lot of places. I heard it was bad in Ohio, too, for a while. Florida, we used to go down to, we actually, well, I say we. I shouldn't say we. My buddy went down to Florida. And I knew about the whole trip and how he did what he did. And what he would do is he would get a ridiculous amount down there because they have pain clinics down there and bring them up here. You know? We're talking numbers I'm not even gonna, it's like so bad. This stuff was so bad. All right? But at the same time, you know what the company said? They said it's not addictive. You can't get addicted to it. Which was literally the most ridiculous. That's like saying the sky, you know, the sky is green. You know, like it's just so wrong. Like it is the most addictive thing. Then they take it off the market. We invade Afghanistan. And all of a sudden, everyone's a junkie. And then all the poppy plants, now we're the ones controlling them. And I don't know how. America gets flooded with heroin. Well, what a coinky-dink. Why would they let that happen? They screwed up a whole generation. I knew great guys, great men dead, great men in jail, you know, put on a mask, robbed a bank with a gun. See you later. He's gone for, I don't know, what was it, like 20? He's doing 20, 18 to 20. It's crazy that some of these bids that a lot of my buddies got, and they were buddies growing up in high school. You know what I mean? Wild kids in high school, but crazy stuff. It was just crazy stuff. I'm kind of telling war stories, and I don't like doing that. But I feel like the channel's going to get taken down, so I'm just kind of opening up a bit. But I'm about to stop with all that because, you know, it's just, I'm making a point. That's I don't believe in coincidences. All of a sudden, you know what I mean? Like, because I kind of understand who, you know what I mean? I know what is going on. I know what is going, at least in Boston. You know what I mean? I know what's going on. I know what the kids are up to and what they're not up to. I just know. And yeah, it's been heroin for a while, and that sucks. That sucks. And it's all coming from Afghanistan. Well, now that we love it so much, it's also coming from South America and through Mexico. So it sucks, man. You know, like El Chapo. El Chapo got rich off of us getting ourselves. Do you know that's how England beat China in the war? I believe, is it a fact that nobody has ever invaded mainland Asia and won a war? Is that true? I know that the Japanese used to actually, that's not true. Japan used to enslave the Chinese. So that's not true. That's not true. What I just said, that's not true. Because Japan enslaved the Chinese. And, you know, they enslaved the whole area. Kind of like the Nazis did. You know what I mean? The World War II, that whole thing. But Japan had always had a history of a war, like history. You'd be surprised how many martial arts come out of there. When people think of jiu-jitsu, they think of Brazil. No, originally it's from Japan. A lot of things are from Japan. Japan, they were amazing, and they just felt like they couldn't lose. I mean, kamikaze, you know, suicide fighters. Whew. Knowing that's just crazy. I mean, that was just like crazy to an American. You know, like we'll run into the bullets and to try to take the beach. We'll do that, yeah. And we'll hunt you down, we'll kill you, yeah. And we'll risk our lives. But the whole kamikaze thing, it kind of, I think back then to an American, it was like, huh. You know, like, what's going to happen? Now we have to invade that, you know? And every citizen was being taught how to fight, like women, children. It's like, so they dropped the bombs. I don't want to tell you that story. But very strategic and all of that was Okinawa. And to this day, very strategic because of China. They hate it that we're there. We hate it that what they're trying to do with the islands down in South China Sea, the Spratly Islands. It's the most contested. It's a very hot spot. They hate China. We recognize Taiwan. I believe we recognize Taiwan. Yeah. Yeah, I believe we at one point, I think that Obama didn't. Don't quote me. I'm thinking Obama did. He did some messed up shit. One of the last things he did was he made it so that Israel could not build any new settlements, which kind of takes that whole third temple thing off the shelf, doesn't it? Trump reversed that, of course. And yeah, all of a sudden, it's looking like biblical times. The Vatican, there's going to be something that goes down at the Vatican right now. And this Pope has done so many people are convinced that he is the Pope, the one that, okay, the false prophet, the Black Pope. He came after another Pope that didn't die. That's freaky, man. Had that ever happened before? I believe not. Alright, so you guys want to see something? I'll do it. Screw it. Look at this. And look, how did I get this info? See, now there's more stuff I have that I got myself. You're not going to see it here. But this stuff is amazing. Okay. Rebuffed by Vatican. Pompeo assails China and aligns with Pope's critics. Okay? So basically, because, listen, the Pope, the Vatican, they're very deep statey. They're not, and I'm telling you, they're also very pedophile-y. You know what I'm saying? The elites, I don't know what it is, the children. Some people say it's like adrenochrome or something. Other people say it's just purely pedophilia. It's a sexual thing. I can't believe that. Why is every elite a pedophile? Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. That part doesn't make sense. I can see every elite being, they have like this thing where they, the reason they got where they were is they're workaholics. And, like some people have that, like this certain mentality where their work ethic, it's almost like, what the hell is up with this guy? They're just like different types of people. And that's all they care about, though. So in other aspects of life, they lost. They don't have the cool time with their kids, and they don't take, they might take a vacation to like the best place and the best everything. Sometimes it's fun to like kind of go to a shitty place and do it kind of, balling on a budget. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's nice. It's fun. You have fun with your kids there on a budget. I'm telling you, some of the best times of my life have been things where we went somewhere, you know what I mean? And it was very simple. Anyways, let me just continue. Sorry for that. In fact, I know that she's mad at me right now. I should be out there with them. I got this whole week off from school, and I should be out there. Okay. Pope Francis declined to cede Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, who is demanding a harder Vatican line on China. The Holy See said meeting. Wait. I already read like a bunch of articles on this. Now this is from the New York Times. Who is demanding a harder Vatican line on China. Alright, so Pompeo wants the Vatican to basically like disavow China, and they won't. The Holy See said meeting just before a U.S. election would be inappropriate. I don't know why that doesn't like sound. The Holy See, S-E-E. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep going. All right, now this is the info. This is the real info. All right, anything that's written by Paul Revere is what you want to know. Rebuffed by Vatican, Pompeo assails China and aligns with Pope's critics. Now listen to this. Pope Francis declined to see Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. Okay? So basically the Pope is like, hey, I'm not doing that. I'm the Pope. I'm with China. Secretary of State wants to visit. The Pope says no. What? What if Trump? Are you going to say no to Trump too? What's going on with this Pope? Are you fucking kidding me? Before, I was yelling about him kissing the feet of drug lords who both had about 400,000 deaths under their belt in Africa. There was 2 warlords going at it, and he wanted them to stop, and to make them stop, he invited them to the Vatican and kissed their feet. And I had some, hardline Catholics who were all over me for it because I was pissed. I said, what the, because I don't care. I understand. I understand. Jesus kissed the feet and he washed the prostitute's feet. I don't. Okay, I do care about that, but I don't care about this Pope kissing warlords' feet that both killed 400,000 women and children. Don't care. Don't get. I think he's a piece of shit for doing it, and I think he's done a bunch of messed up things. You ever see his throne? It looks like the gate of hell. I mean, I guess it really is supposed to be Jesus leaving hell with the key. You know that, right? I didn't know that for a while. I was like, it looks like hell. Well, that's because it is. But that's what he sits on. So what is he in hell? I don't get it. I don't get that, and a lot of the stuff, I get it biblically. There's a few things that I'll miss it, and somebody will say something, and okay. But this Pope, for instance, just recently, the Vicar of Christ, he's like, no, he took away the Vicar of Christ. Now, if you don't know, what's the Vicar of Christ? That is, if I'm not mistaken, right? That is the why am I having trouble with that? I did a whole show on this. The Vicar of Christ, the Vicar of Christ. Here, look, just to prove it to you. The Pope, also known as the Supreme Pontiff or the Roman Pontiff, is the Bishop of Rome, chief pastor of the worldwide Catholic Church, and head of state or sovereign of the sovereign of the Vatican City State. Now, this is see. I mean, people are like diehard Catholics, like hardline Catholics. They're puzzled by this.
Daddy.
Yes, baby. Do you want to play?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm literally gonna finish this. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And then we're gonna play, me and you. Okay? We'll go out. Okay, 5 minutes. All right, guys. So this is gonna be the end. So the mysterious disappearance of the Vicar of Christ. Pope Francis greets a child as he arrives to visit the parish of St. Julius in Rome. Okay. From the moment he was introduced to the world after his election, Pope Francis has emphasized his identity as the Bishop of Rome. The 2020 Annual Pontifical, the official Vatican yearbook, has made the same... Go, Philly. Go, Philly. The same emphasis typographically by listing other descriptions of the papal office as... Go, Philly. Historic titles. Like the 2019 edition, there is a page that says Francis, Bishop of Rome. Yeah, they say the Vicar of Christ. They're supposed to be the Vicar of Christ, and he took that title away. It's really weird. Like, why? Why that one of all? Why take away the Vicar? It's very odd. But unlike last year's edition, the New Year book does not precede the biography of Jorge Mario Bergoglio. I should be able to say that, but I can't. With the I don't even care to. With the titles, I shouldn't be like this hard on them, but I'm telling you, I got a bad feeling about them. And there's been I have heard things where I thought it was. I'm like, this person is lying. What an idiot. And then I look it up and it's real. He really said it. Like singing Lucifer. What is that? Or the saddle, or and then they have the biggest telescope in the world, and they named it Lucifer. What? He sits on a throne. That is hell. It's disgusting. Um, okay, these are all. So there's a million titles, right? So it should say Vicar of Christ, and then anyway, so Matteo Bruni, director of the Vatican press office, told. Just so you guys know, by the way, they did raid. And this is for financial reasons. They raided some financial institutions in the Vatican recently. And I think that has a lot to do with Pompeo and the reason why the Pope is like, no. Because there were raids and they obviously found stuff. They got what they wanted, and you know what? They probably learned some things. I mean, imagine getting all of the Vatican's financials. What are you gonna find out? You're gonna find out some fucked up. You're gonna find out so much pedophilia, so much payoff money, so much money coming from China. You're gonna find it all out. And they just did the raids. What was that, like a month ago? Um, So Pope Benedict had the title Patriarch of the West removed from the list. This time, there has been no suppression of a title. But he took away the vicar. They're trying to make it sound normal. No. This ain't normal. Downgrading Vicar of Christ title is theological barbarism, says a cardinal. All right, there you go. So Bruni cited Pope Benedict's decision. So, to downgrade the Vicar of Christ title is theological barbarism. Okay? Now, this is the Vicar of Christ. It's basically a title. Alright? And it's used in different ways. It's the earth. I knew it. Alright. So it's just reminding you that he represents Jesus on earth. I grew up Catholic. I am a born-again Christian. I'm not down with that. And then he's the Holy Father, and the priest is the Father. But at the same time, it says, call no man your father, except for the Lord Father. Little confused on that one, yeah, to be honest. If anyone could clear that up, I'd love that. So that always confused me. I always had questions. But where I grew up, everyone's Catholic. Everyone's Catholic. Like in school, everybody would be Catholic, and then there might be like 2 Jewish kids. And all we knew was that for some reason, you know, Seth and, I don't know. I'm not saying this to be, I'm not even gonna say it. And another Jewish, I don't know, Jewish kid, Elijah, they don't come to Sunday school. That sucks. All right, let's go, And you go to Sunday school every friggin' Sunday. That was my life growing up. I didn't understand that there was, I knew there was other religions, but I didn't understand the the reason for the denomination. I used to ask my mother, she always said, if somebody asks you what you are, you say Catholic. And I said, well, I'm a Christian. I had a real hard time with that. He goes, yes, you're a Christian, but she wasn't too, she doesn't know the Bible too well. So she couldn't explain it to me too well. So, just saying. I wasn't from like a die-hard Catholic family, but where I'm from, it's a die-hard Catholic community, put it that way. Out here in Boston, it's all Irish, and, because of that. So I said 5 minutes to my daughter. So, okay, so that's that on the Pope. Oh, okay. So, guys, okay. So that's that. All right, Olivia, you ready? All right, so look. Recently published excoriating the Vatican's plans to renew an agreement with the Chinese government on church operations in China. He promoted the article in a tweet. Well, don't we want them to have religion there? But at the same time, I thought China doesn't communists, they don't have religion. Well, Russia didn't. Pretty sure the communists are like that. They rounded up those, what were they called? I can't pronounce it, but like Ugar, it's spelled like Ugga, and they were putting them on friggin' trains with blindfolds and they had them all lined up in rows. It was like military style, and it was like guards, military guards, like MPs, forcing them into this position where they're blindfolded and bound. You guys know what I'm talking about. You guys seen that. I know you have. But if you haven't, yeah, I would check that out. And there's so many of them. And the thing is, China, it's not as bad as North Korea, as far as being like closed off. Now, they're not closed off when it comes to money. I mean, they got business everywhere. They like their business. Don't get me wrong. And it's so funny the way capitalism works, right? Communism wouldn't have a chance without capitalism. You know what I'm saying? It's so funny how that works. Like, the worst thing we could do to China is end capitalism. Then all of a sudden their communist system doesn't work. Because all of a sudden we're not a consumer-based nation. You know what I'm saying? It's always been said like that. Communism depends on capitalism. And if you have a stupid government, all right, and you consider them a developing nation when it's clear that they are going to be they had become a world power, and you're still doing all this aid and giving them all these breaks, and they want to do the Paris Climate Accord, and this is the Paris Climate Accord. Stepping away from the Paris Climate Accord is one of the most important things Trump did, or didn't do, I should. You know what I mean? Not going. That would be so bad. Now, just saying that, it sounds weird, right? The Paris Climate Accord. Oh, so what do you like? You don't care about the air and the water? No, listen. It's stupid because China, India, all these countries, basically every country, okay, they're considered underdeveloped nations. So we have to stop right now and we have to make 1,000,000 changes to our whole infrastructure. Everything has to be changed, which is all the jobs are going to be gone. You thought Obama took jobs. Have the Paris Climate Accord happen. The rest of the jobs are going to be gone. There'll be no jobs. Okay? Seriously, we will need a universal basic income at that point. And eventually it'll become digital, and that just sounds way close to the beast system for my liking. Okay, so I got to be quick. I have so much to say. I don't know. I just have so much to say today. Because I feel like this channel is going to go down. Sucks, man. Sucks. It sucks that you can't be honest. Everything I'm saying is truth. The stuff that I'm not sure about, I say, like, don't quote me on that. Or, usually it's probably right, but I'm not sure. Okay, so, where was I? I lost my train of thought. Oh, the whole thing. Okay, so real quick, if we were to do that, I was saying how communism depends on capitalism. Oh, the Paris Climate Accord. Okay, so they're considered underdeveloped nations, so they can continue to dump crap. Do you know we send all our trash to China, so they could just dump it? Because they don't care about environmental stuff at all. I mean, India and China, the air is like thick with smog, the nastiness of the cities there. There's so many people. So they don't have to do anything because they're underdeveloped. It wouldn't be fair. But we have to change our whole infrastructure. Listen, the Paris Climate Accord was one huge piece of the destruction of America. Because the thing that's keeping the elites from forming a new world order, okay? They got the EU. Hey, good on you. Anyone from England, good on you for Brexit. You got out of that. But, at one point, when Obama was in, it didn't look good. It was going in the wrong direction. If Hillary was elected, now knowing what we know now, though how easily she lied, go back and watch the debate. After you know now that she legit was talking to the Russians, like she was doing the Secretary of State. She was talking to the Russians. She goes, listen, I got to set this guy up. They made a huge plan. Then there's this like double agent Steele. He's actually MI6 from Britain, but he's the only guy crazy enough to make up a story. They made a fake story of having hookers pee on a bed because when they claimed when Obama visited that he slept in that bed with Michael, and so he paid hookers, like a ridiculous amount of money just to pee on it because they slept in it. A made up story. It was made up. They even talked about it at the Comey hearing. I got it on my last video. So, considering what that we know now, so the truth is, yes, one of the candidates was actually in bed with China. And it was her. It was the Democrats the whole time. And then they're trying to say that the Russians hacked the DNC server. And yes, they did. But only after WikiLeaks got it. WikiLeaks hacked it. WikiLeaks knew that they had a weak spot. And they got Seth Rich, gave his life. He risked his life and ended up losing his life. All right? And he was mentioned the other day by Paul Revere. So I think there'll be some justice there. To get that. I do have another channel. I put that in a thing. The Red Pill Dispenser. That's what I am on Twitter as well. I just look in the I think I put it in the if I didn't I will. It's you can see it on my community post. I put it there. So Red Pill Dispenser with an R at the end. Instead of dispensary, dispenser. So I did make another channel. Yeah. I put like one video on it, but I just made it just in case so I don't disappear totally. But I know the signs and they're starting to happen. You make a video, it doesn't actually post. Like you'll listen to it live, but this might not post till tomorrow or tonight, at 1 in the morning or something, So, all right, am I done with China? Am I done with that thought? Paris Climate Accord. Yeah, so anyway, so they don't have to start changing anything about what they do. India, which is, by the way, India and Pakistan, they are big. People don't realize how many people actually live in those countries, and that those countries now over time have grown. It's not only China that's grown strong, while as America has gotten weaker, these countries have gotten stronger. The thing is, India hates Pakistan. Pakistan hates India. And I'll give you right now a foolproof way to know which way a country blows. Are they blowing towards Russia and China or the U.S. and England? I'll tell you right now. Which missile defense system do they have? The Patriot defense missile system or the S400, and I think they just came out with the S500. which are effective. But, to put it lightly, Iran had an S-400. We friggin' melted Soleimani. So, there were some rockets that got through S-400 system. Where was it? One of those, somewhere where they're fighting. And they mentioned something, but they're good systems. They're good systems. But that's how you tell. So, I always looked at India more as our ally. And then it's so sad with Obama. Obama had something against Pakistan. I mean, okay, they did have Osama hiding there. Although I don't even know about that whole story, man, because it's really weird that his family happens to be elites, like legit elites. The Bin Ladens are elites, and he was kind of Americanized a little bit. I'm not okay. Yeah, I think he's CIA. All right, so why would they do that? And then not kill him until then. And then not bring his body and only just take a picture and dump his body in the ocean. Why? Why did we dump his body in the ocean? Why does no one ever ask that question? Is that were we following his religions? No. They don't have friggin' oceans in the middle. You know what I mean? There's no ocean. Yeah, they have the sea. Which sea? The Red Sea, right? Parted right. I get the seas mixed up. The Black Sea, Red Sea. You know what I mean? I get them mixed up a little bit. But yeah, you guys get my point, right? Why do we do that? Because we hate him so much that we want even his body is going to sit at the bottom of the ocean. I mean, I was so happy when he was dead because, hey, this is a very good chance that he is behind it. Well, not very good, but there's a good chance. I'll go 1/3. I'll go 33.3 that he didn't do it. I mean, that he did do it. 66.6, which one is the 666, that he did do it. And I did it like that for a reason. And I think the odds, the way I really look at them, are about that. But a 2/3 chance that there's a totally different story. And he was CIA. 1/3 chance it's 100% legit. All right? And they really did go out there. But who did they kill? I mean, they had a lot of years. And he's walking around with a dialysis machine. We couldn't find him all those years. We had him at Tora Bora. I'll tell you that. We had him. We had him. We had him. And then we had stupid leadership and we stopped. If we kept going, we would have got him. And he was able to escape into Pakistan. I'll never forget that. So if it was him, that's a fact as well. If he did do it. Okay. I gotta move on, right? All right. So just remember just remember that. Look at what they have for a defense system. Like India is supposed to be our ally. Now that we have beef with China big time, India is benefiting. And also Americans, we're finding out this might be good for us. It's almost like this thing might be really good for us because we're realizing that we are 100% dependent on China for everything. We couldn't even give nurses gowns en masse, and China bought every gown, every mask, the N95 mask, all the medical equipment. They bought it up. And then they drove up the price and sold it back. And Trump was so pissed about that they made that a huge purchase of, you know, corn and shit like that. So it was really weird. And he always mentions that. But the reason that they bought it, if you ever wonder, it's like, why did China make that big purchase? He always brings it up. It's because of what they did. They're realizing Trump's going to get the whole world against them. And they're trying to soften the blow. And, you know, because they did. They bought up all the medical equipment. And remember I was talking back around New Year's. It wasn't even happening here. It was... I don't even think the one in Washington happened yet. But then, as soon as I heard it, that one was in Washington, I said, where there's one, there's many. It's coming. And sure enough, it came. You know, but it's like, you know, it's like you've been thinking about fighting someone for so long, and in your head that they become tough because you're thinking and you get your nerves up, and they end up being a bitch and you beat the shit out of them. So that's what this virus was like. And I'm saying that I shouldn't be saying that because friggin' we're one of the numbers. Her grandfather, Amanda's grandfather, just died, and they labeled it as COVID. He had dementia and all that. He also dementia, and he was 93, I believe. And also, he's a great man. He had one eye, like real cool, Marine, Korea, Marine, great man. So anyways, let's finish this. So, and then we took the article as a calculated affront than a diplomatic gesture. So basically, so what it says in quotes, the Vatican endangers its moral authority should it renew the deal. Okay, so that's basically how it was concluded by Mike Pompeo. And I agree. An indignant Vatican, okay, so the Vatican, so they're like, took the article more as a, and you know what's weird? We can't go to church, but we can riot. Really weird. And you know where I got that line? You're about to hear it. Because I put the title of this video all about Trump addressing, you know, speaking to a crowd about the debate. So right after this, I need to go play with my daughter, but I'm going to play that, okay? So, and Daniel Valiant took the article more as a calculated front than a diplomatic gesture. The friction broke into the open on Wednesday as Mr. Pompeo arrived in Rome. So he actually goes there, thinking there's no way they're going to stop me from going in. Wow. On Wednesday, that's today. Or is this from last week? As Mr. Pompeo arrived in Rome and met with prelates and others who are hostile to Pope Francis. So that, yeah, there's a bunch of like bishops and would it be a bishop though? Cardinals, a bunch of cardinals that don't like him. They hate they can't believe he dropped the Vicar of Christ. All the things he said about Lucifer. He said that Jesus was just a man. Jesus is supposed to be like God in the flesh. He said, "You just a what? The man, the 666 is, what does it say? Is the number of man, and right? It actually says it like that, like what it says, man. It's very weird the things he says. It's almost like he's playing for the other side, and I don't know. Too many things are happening. Okay, so I gotta go play with my daughter, but I'm gonna finish this here. The friction broke in the open on Wednesday, arrived in the Rome and met with okay. While the Vatican denied him a meeting with the pontiff and rebuffed his efforts to derail the deal with China. So they denied him to meet with the Pope or even go into the Vatican. And on top of it, said, screw you, we're still doing a deal with China. And we're not even letting you in the Vatican. It has to do something with those raids on the financials. And now all of a sudden there's this like meeting about some type of there's money involved, I'm sure, with China. Pretty crazy. Pompeo asked to meet the Pope, who turned him down because Francis had clearly said that he does not receive political figures ahead of the elections. Bullshit. Cardinal Pietro Parolin. So he made the Pope lied. Like, think about it. The Pope is like a political figure that says a lie. You know, like, okay, it kind of makes sense, but at the same time, you're doing this huge deal with China. It has nothing to do with that, Pope. Ugh. But to some observers, on both sides of the tension between the Roman Catholic Church and the Trump administration, Mr. Pompeo's visit is as much about the coming presidential election. Oh, wow. Well, why? Don't forget, this is New York Times. But then again, Revere's putting it there, so there's something to it. As about China policy, Mr. Pompeo dismissed that suggestion as absurd, but intended or not, his trip signals that President Trump is on is on the side of those conservative American Catholics who worry about the church's direction under Francis. Well, I think there's a lot of those, and think he is soft on China. What? Who's soft on Trump's soft on China? What? Who would think that? Oh, the Pope. Okay, I get it. They're worried about Francis, and he's not just soft with China. Sounds like he's pretty buddy with China. He'll meet with them and have a friggin' huge financial deal after having his financial records raided. Francis and Mr. Trump, who have exchanged sharp words in the past. Yeah, I remember that. Present starkly different visions on issues ranging from environmental, anything that's globalism. This Pope is down. He's down for it. You know what I mean? It's weird. It makes you think. Ranging from the environment to immigration to the threat of populism. In appealing to the Vatican's support for religious freedom as a reason to drop its China agreement, Mr. Pompeo seemed to seek common ground, but in a way that upset the Pope's chief allies and delighted his chief critics. So basically, he tried to find solid ground, but almost in a way like, you're a fucking idiot, but we need to talk, you dumb fuck. You know what I mean? Like, he talked to him, like, the people who don't like him kind of liked how Pompeo, instead of, like, going to him on his knees, like, Pope, sir, or standing in front of his throne of hell. All right. Cardinal Parolin said Mr. Pompeo's article had caused surprise at the Vatican because his visit to Rome by the secretary and the meetings with high officials at the Holy See had already been in the works and would have been a more opportune forum for airing grievances. He added that Mr. Pompeo's choice to publish in First Things, so he published some kind of article, a conservative Christian magazine that has called Francis a failure as Pope. Wow. Also mattered. All right. Now, the New York Times, so if you want to, so it's right there. The whole thing. When does a church become a playground? When does a church become a business? These are legit questions. Okay? Think about this. So when did the church become a business? Well, when money becomes the most important thing. When does a church become political? Well, because money is such an important thing, I guess. I'm trying to answer these questions. I haven't seen them till now. When does a church become political? I guess when they get involved in world politics and pick a side. Because it looks right now like there's two world powers and they're not happy with each other. And one, I mean, it seems like we're more pissed at them. But trust me, all right, they're ready. They want to, but I'm telling you, they have a huge weak spot. The Three Gorges Dam, like Gorges, Gorges, the Three Gorges Dam. That is like their Achilles heel. It's so easy. You send in, I mean, they're going to defend it like crazy, but you have one missile hit that. See you later. It breaks, 400 million people will die. That's how crazy it is. So when does a church become corrupt? Well, when it starts. It became corrupt a long time ago. Remember when they used to they were back in the day with the mafia, they had like a cardinal hung from that famous bridge. That was crazy. When does a church become willfully blind? When they turn their head to pedophilia. When does a church become controlled? I guess when they are, I would say, the way to control, especially when you're talking about something like the Vatican and something so big, is exactly what Epstein does. Exactly what Ghislaine Maxwell does. This is what intelligence services do, like the Mossad, like the CIA. You compromise them. You get them in a compromised position, which they are, in my opinion. Definitely with pedophilia, but I bet you it goes so deep. Because they police themselves, they do it all themselves, right? It's ripe for corruption. All right, so on that note, I'm gonna end it. Oh, by the way, check this out. James, so Comey's daughter, all right? So, she investigated Epstein's suicide. She was like one of the head investigators, Comey's daughter. And her husband, guess what, is the one prosecuting Ghislaine Maxwell. Remember I told you guys the Southern District of New York is the most important court in the land? And the most important case in the land and the most important court in the land, they are prosecuting her. I get pissed about this. Because of the children and the kids. They're prosecuting her with the husband of Comey's daughter. This is what you call deep state. That's why I said, guys, you want to really research and you'll find stuff yourself. Look into the wives, the husbands, the children, the parents. Put it together. They marry each other. You know what I mean? They set up marriages. My family actually did arranged marriages. Not because we're rich. It was just traditional in St. Miguel, Portugal, in the Azores. That's where my family's from. Okay, so that's what they did there. Maybe they were rich there. They're not rich here. Definitely not. But, they grew up, friggin' 10 people and, with one bathroom house, But still, you know, and do you believe in coincidences, guys? Do you believe in coincidences? But no, hey, guys, you know what? Actually, I should stop. Go watch my fool because he's talking about let's see. What's something stupid he always talks about? You know, well, he's doing an ad right now, but you know, oh, here's a call, some drunk guy or someone that has a channel about squirrels. Lame. This is where it's at. Yeah, I'll get 100 views. All right. Oh, you want to see some actual documents? Oh, look at it. And I mean, I'm not claiming anyone could do this, right? Anyone could look on here and just do it. But I do the research too, and I break the news too. Anyways, you guys, all right. First of all, when I see the name Strauss, every single time I see the name Strauss, I think elite. That's one of the elite families. That's one of the bloodlines. You know what I'm talking about by bloodlines? Strauss is one of the bloodlines. I gotta go with my daughter, but I can't, this is so important. So Strauss is one of the bloodlines, first of all. And, you know, she was supposed to be the one prosecuting the case. I remember when she came out on the podium. And, you know, she was like a woman. She was about 60. And she almost had like a gap on her tooth. Because I remember thinking that she looks just like some of the older women in my family. I'll be honest. Or at least on my father's side. I'll be honest. They're not the most attractive. You know? The men are all like tall, handsome. The woman, you know, the Ponties, we have like a gap on our teeth. Not a big gap. I didn't get it. But a lot of them do, you know? It's unfortunate for the woman in my family. But hey, whatever. And what's funny is my grandmother's was gorgeous. But my grandfather, you know, I don't know, the gene was so strong that like all their children got the gap. Anyway, I write respectfully, and so did his brother. All his brother's kid got the gap. All his brother's kid got the gap too. It's like they didn't get any of the woman's genes or something. It's really weird. I guess it's just strong genetics, and that's maybe why they set up the marriages. And they actually even one of my uncles married his second cousin in an arranged marriage. Or maybe third. I think second's too close, but they do that on an island. You know, the Azores. Which, by the way, do you know that scientists now, they believe that Atlantis was actually potentially the Azores. That's like the new theory. Those islands there, the Azores, maybe even Cape Verde, that might have been Atlantis. Because as it was described by, is it Homer? Homer? The Greek, it's amazing. They used to do, instead of books, they would do storytelling, and they would do it in such a way, like that's why like the first book, Odysseus, it's like a hard read because it's a it's storytelling. That's the way they pass. So did the Native Americans. That's the way you pass down knowledge, at least back then. So anyways, okay, Audrey Strauss, she's, I'm gonna go on a limb. You know, she on the biggest court in the land, and she's the head prosecutor. I'm gonna say she's part of that Strauss family. You know, the one with the bloodline. But she seems legit. She actually went after Maxwell. But for some reason, I write respectfully to inform the court that I will be leaving the United States Attorney's Office. I request the entry of an order terminating my appearance in this matter. The matter meaning she wants to, so basically she's not going to be the one prosecuting the case, as was thought. Instead, the one stepping in is Comey's daughter's husband. All right, so I just wanted you guys to know that. That's friggin' intense. it seems fake. It's so crazy.
Look at me now.
Okay? And then, look at this. He says, this guy, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. So this guy, he says, information warfare. Hold up. U.S. Attorney at Southern District of New York steps down, and Lucas, oh, that's his name. That's just his name. And so that's why it got by a lot of people, because look at her name's Maureen, first of all. Maureen Comey. She marries this guy, Lucas Issacharoff. She married a Jewish guy, sounds like. So, in addition to being a daughter of Comey and Fowler, Maureen attracted, look at this, right now, and married Lucas. There he is, deep state alert. James Comey's daughter, Maureen Comey, husband, is taking over. And what's crazy about this, look at this. This isn't Paul Revere. He's reporting it, but it's the digital army. The digital army found this and put it together because they know you look at the families. So Comey was in the news. So one of these anonymous guys, this is why it's so important. One of them thought, I'm going to look into Comey's family tree. Finds the daughter, realizes that he's going to be prosecuting the case, and Strauss just stepped down. Strauss also happens to be one of the bloodlines that is supposed to be these 13 bloodlines, you know? And now this deep state guy is going to be the one who is prosecuting Ghislaine Maxwell. So eyes on. Follow the family. That is disgusting. All right? So we'll end on that note. It's just crazy. And some believe the protection of agency is what matters most. Some believe the declassification and the public exposure of truth. So basically, like, do you want to, like, just protect the institution of the FBI? Or do you want to declassify as much as possible and let the people know what's going on? Or obviously, you want to let the people know what's going on. But the deep state, they claim they just want to save their ass. Okay? So that's what it all comes down to. Apply saying to FBI, apply saying to the state, and they tend to buck the system no matter the severity of the crime. They will fight back for self-preservation. I didn't even know he said that. To save their own ass. He puts it as self-preservation. Shadow game. Prevent public exposure of truth. Why? The people, if we unite, we have power. Even Amanda said that to me last night. She was like, united. We have to be united. Because she's far left on things. And she doesn't like Trump. And we have good conversation about it, though. And she said, united. And I said, you're right. That's what matters. That's why I'm not trying to, be like, told you, ha ha. I mean, I could do that, you know. Well, let me do it once. To everyone who said that where I'm leading, this letter right here, all right? To everyone who said that it was fake and all that, I will say, there's a chance it's just going to take us right off a cliff. You know, right? There's a chance. It's all right. It's really just AI. Okay, I will say that, but I don't believe that. I believe it's all legit. It's all been proven at this point. Told you so. All right, so I did one. All right, guys. On that point, I'm going to end. I hope you all have a blessed day. And, yeah. Eyes on the Vatican. Eyes on China. And eyes on the Southern District of New York. On that note, and eyes on the road. My hair is crazy. Red Pill. Look at this psycho. All right. Red Pill Dispensary. This is the Red Pill. Let me give this a little dip. If I get taken down, Red Pill Dispenser. Alright guys, signing off. I gotta be with my family.